Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back, Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the matchup between Nadal and CACHIN to get into the round of 16 at the Madrid Open. We've got the round of 32. How's everybody doing? We're gonna get started real soon. Get this looking better a little bit. We got this looking a little bit better. Okay, cool. What's up, everybody joining in? It's Nadal versus CACHIN today, the Argentine player. It's been as high as number 48 in the world, but he often hasn't been as high as that. Usually hanging closer to probably 65, 70, 75 in the world. But he's been as high as 48. He's 29 years old, but he only has 25 tour-level wins. Does CACHIN. He's mostly been getting it done on the Challenger circuit, where he's reached 11 Challenger finals. But he did win an ATP title last year in Gstaad before going out, I believe, on like a 13 or 14 match losing streak. And then he got his first wins in Madrid here, where he's beaten Sebastian Offner and Francis Tiafoe. Now he's taking on Rafa. It's a good opportunity for Rafa. CACHIN doesn't mind the clay courts. It suits his style, which is not very flashy usually. Kind of long rallies will favor him better. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Nadal plays like he did to take out Minaur, the world number 11. I don't know what chances CACHIN has. Let's see what CACHIN does. Hey, what's up, Zara? Good to have you. I want Rafa to race through his round 3 and conserve adequate energy for the 4th. Yeah, that'll be the goal. That'll be the goal. Absolutely happy mind. The goal for Rafa is to have a quick match, to play the level he did against Alex de Minaur. And he should feel like he has this match won. By the way, his draw in general is amazing. Montero looked like he could have been a problem because he's such a good clay courter. He played amazing against Tsitsipas, but he lost to Yuri Lehechka. So I think Rafa will favor himself against Lehechka. And then after that, he's got Medvedev potentially, who took out Korda. Medvedev's been playing great. I'm happy to see that, despite the kind of higher bounce courts that we have here. CACHIN is going to serve first, by the way. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think Rafa's the big favorite in this match. I really do. Rafa's the big favorite here. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Quality Shot Tennis, all that stuff. All right, CACHIN here at the line to serve. Here we go. Here we go. Serve from CACHIN coming here. First point in the match. Into the net, second serve. I'm with you on that. Happy mind. Yeah, absolutely. Serve, the backhand of Rafa, forehand of CACHIN. The backhand of Rafa, again cross court. The forehand of CACHIN, backhand Rafa. Backhand of CACHIN, forehand again of Rafa. That goes long though. So 15 love for Pedro CACHIN. But yeah, this is his best run in quite a while for CACHIN. Best run in a minute. He's currently number 91 in the world. So he's been as high as 48 after he took his first ATP title last year, but now he's at 91 in the world. He's really dropped off since he got his career high. Hey, what's up, Lexi? Rafa. Serve, that's in the net. Here we go. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. The backhand to Rafa. It's in the net. 30 love. Hola, Anthony. Todos. What's up, Joe? Good to have you in here. Damn, Korda lost. I'm super sad. Wah. Yeah, I was really torn, to be honest, myself, because I like both those guys. I wasn't sure who I was rooting for. I would have felt bad for Medvedev to lose to Korda, I believe, 3 times in a row. And especially when he was doing so well on clay. So I wasn't so sure, but I'm happy for Medvedev, sad for Korda. Still happy Korda won his first couple matches, but yeah, it's a good sign for him on clay, though. I mean, to get to this stage and to push Medvedev like that, it's not a bad run. Hopefully he can pick up on that in Rome and Roland Garros. Backhand to the forehand drop shot of Rafa. CACHIN runs. Kind of a weird I don't even know how to describe that shot. That's my job. I don't know how to describe that shot. I need to see it again on the replay. But he kind of sliced it back to Rafa at the baseline. Hey, what's up, Cedric? Hey, what's up? All my people joining in. I see you guys. You guys are creating a stampede. Appreciate everybody joining in. Hell yeah, Cedric, Lexi, Zara, Joe. 3 times in a row. Oh no, yeah, exactly. So Medi needed one. Korda can beat him the next time. Medi needed one. Hello. That's lost today. Shelton, Korda. Oh damn. Yeah, Shelton is just still getting used to, I think, the clay courts and the grass courts. I think he has great potential on grass, to be honest. All right, 30 all here. 30 all. Another serve coming here from Pedro CACHIN. Another Rafa match that we got to watch. Here we go. It's always good to see another Rafa match. I'll look up exactly what number win he's going for in his career to this point. His Wikipedia page, it says 1,073, but I don't know if that's updated to his wins in this tournament. Against Blanche and Minaur. Forehand, the back into Rafa, down the line, back into CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, forehand to CACHIN. Probably what CACHIN needs to do, make these rallies as physical as possible, hang around these rallies. Backhand, that goes long. So 30-40, early break point for Rafa. But I'll be honest, the way Rafa played against Minaur, where he was also cracking winners with the forehand and hitting drop shots and just playing his game and playing incredible, and even winning the long rallies in incredible fashion, and hitting great passing shots. I don't see CACHIN getting past that version of Rafa, if that is the Rafa who shows up and he's healthy. Rafa, I know you'll win, no doubt about it. Hell yeah. That's why you can't take Bublik for granted. He'll always be a dangerous opponent. It's fair. Backhand, we have high. Lob, that's in. CACHIN left in, it's in. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, cross court. Forehand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, again cross court, back into CACHIN. Forehand to backhand now. Right-hander versus left-hander. Rafa, of course. That goes out. 1-0 for Rafa already with a quick game. My prediction is like 6-1, 6-2 Rafa or something. 6-1, 6-1. I'm gonna say that I don't know if it's gonna even be that close. Yeah, Bublik's talented. I don't know much about CACHIN. Yeah, 29-year-old Argentine. I mean, he's really got it. He's got into the top of the game more through challengers than any other player I've ever seen. Which is fine, but it's just what it is. He only has 25 wins on the ATP tour. So I mean, it's good. It's good you can get a lot of points through challengers, but of course, it is weird when you see somebody in the top 60 and they haven't played that much on the main tour, on the ATP tour. But anyway, he has 25 wins at tour level, including a title last year. He doesn't play very flashy, just kind of likes to rally and kind of grind it out, that kind of a thing. Like I said, 29 years old. And yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him, but those are just a few basic things. He got his first couple wins in this tournament, first couple wins in about like 8-9 months. He was on a 14-match losing streak, won a title in Gstaad last year. CACHIN looks like a naughty cowboy. Okay, fair enough. Excited about doubles with Rafa and Alcaraz. Yeah, hell yeah, Cedric. Same here. Back in Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Back in Rafa again. Forehand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Seems to really be saving up his intensity here early. Back in CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Again, cross court. Back in CACHIN. That goes out. 15 love. This might be a simpler day for Rafa than his last round. Minaur is tough. This might be a simpler day for CACHIN. They're playing doubles. Lovely. That's what it sounds like. Now it seems like it's really starting to be a little bit more official, which is great. So, How are you, Anthony? Did you guys stream yesterday? Yeah, I was streaming the Sabalenka Montgomery match. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed watching Montgomery, honestly. She played a fantastic match. And yeah, no, that was I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. Been doing a lot of drawing recently, doing more of my creative stuff, which is fun. Love drawing, and that's been fun. I went to an art festival the other day, which was a lot of fun. So I've been doing a lot of that. I'm thinking after this is done, I might go on a run, which would be fun as well. How are you doing? How are you doing? Also, for anybody who didn't see, the QualityShot tennis website came out the other day. I wrote an article for that, so you can, if you look, you have to look a little bit, but it's under blogs and articles. I wrote an article about the Madrid tournament, so you can check that out. It's a bit long, but I'll work on making them shorter. But you can be a doubles partner with someone from another country. I thought exclusive for players in the same country. Yeah, well, in regular tournaments you can play with anybody, but I mean Alcaraz and Rafa are both Spaniards, so but yeah, in regular tournaments you can play with anybody. How come I can't find the match of Alki and Rafa? Are they playing here in Madrid? No, Alki and Rafa, I think they're planning on playing for the Olympics potentially, and they might play some warm-up events before that, I think is what they're saying. 40-15 here for Rafa at 1-0. Serve out wide, forehand. Back in Rafa, down the line, back in CACHIN. Forehand Rafa, half volley. Back in volley, Nadal, he's still there. But CACHIN puts it away, 40-30. It's so funny watching Rafa because I have flashbacks of, like just millions of incredible shots Rafa's hit throughout his career. So I'm always expecting him to have one. It was like Roger. It was like Federer at the end of his career. Like, yeah, whenever he was playing a point, I always expect the most amazing potential thing to happen. Because they're incredible shot makers. 40-30 here. 1-0. Serve Rafa. Back in CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Backhand of CACHIN. That's out. That's out. Hey, how about you call it? That's out. I have PTSD from the Sinner Tsitsipas situation. Hey, if it's out, call it out. I could tell from here, and I'm literally hundreds of miles away. Murray and Serena play mixed doubles. Lexi. I remember Murray playing doubles with loads of people. You draw two. Well, what can you not do? My problem is committing to things and really going all in on one thing. That's my problem. And my partial I probably have a bit of ADHD, which doesn't help either, to be honest, with that. But yeah, my problem, I can do a lot of things. My problem is really focusing on one thing and doing that. But it's been great. I've been able to do that with the tennis thing, and commentating for that. It was really the last thing I expected to first really go all in for. But yeah, I hope to do a lot of different stuff. I really enjoy a lot of different creative avenues as well. Like filmmaking, writing, comedy, something I want to go into, art. Those are all things I'll do in the future. So forehand, the backhand, CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Back into CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Backhand slice to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, the forehand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Again to the back into CACHIN, cross court, forehand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN, back into Rafa. The back into CACHIN. Back in Rafa. That's a good shot cross court for a winner. So 15-all, 15-all. Marie, Andy. Marat. Who's your favorite artist, Anthony? There's an artist right now who I really, really enjoy the work of, named David Go. His username on Instagram is David Van Gogh, but I have some of his art just in my room, and I love his art style. It's incredible. I think of that because a lot of people like to name older artists. I like to think of like modern artists because that should still be a thing. Like, visual art still should exist just the same. And it does in a lot of ways. So, yeah, he's one of my favorites. He, like, does weird, like, dark, surrealist art. But it's amazing. All right, 15:30 here. Nadal with a chance to break open this match early. Another serve coming here from CACHIN. Argentine just trying to get on the board at the moment. Rafa stepping up to another level recently. That's a forehand in the net, though, as I jinx him. Straight up jinx. Straight up jinx. Anthony knows I love manga artists and Banksy. Yeah, hell yeah. No, I love that stuff, too. I appreciate you showing me to Banksy. I was looking at some of his other stuff after you linked me him on Instagram. So good luck, all the doubles players. Exactly. With Alcaraz and Rafa in the draw. Drop shot. That's too good from CACHIN. Some more finesse involved in his game, which is good. Introduced into his game. CACHIN gonna eat 2 bagels. If you lose a bagel, are you eating it or are you giving it away? That's a good question. I think we should figure this out as a tennis community. If you're losing a bagel, are you eating it? I always thought it was the other way around. We need to figure it out. Forehand Rafa. The back end of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Again, down the line, forehand of CACHIN, forehand of Rafa. The back end of CACHIN. Forehand of Rafa again. The back end of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Forehand of CACHIN. That goes out. So, deuce. Where's the match? I know Tennis TV's got it. I know Tennis TV has got it. Jamie Murray is the new director of Queen's Club this year. Is that right, Joe? I haven't even heard that, but I haven't even heard that before, but that's exciting. I'm scheduled to go to Newport. I have a hotel reserved, so I'm excited for that. Definitely gonna head out to Newport this year for the tournament. Last time they're doing Newport, so and yeah, Queens is my favorite grass courts of the whole year. Wimbledon is by far my favorite tennis event, but Queens has my favorite grass courts. They are just different. Another drop shot. I like the strategy from CACHIN. Lob, Nadal. I thought he was going to go for a tweener. Lobs it up. Smash from CACHIN. That's a great one. Cross court Nadal with a forehand goes wide. Arguably, Nadal should have hit the tweener. He had time to do it. The shot he hit was probably worse than the tweener he would have hit. I think sometimes people don't go for the tweener because they're like, oh, people aren't going to take me serious or I'm going to lose my focus, which is fair. But sometimes it's the right play. And just in terms of the point, sometimes it's the right play because a tweener, it's not just an entertainment shot. If you're able to hit it, then it literally takes away time that you need to run around the ball. So it's a great play sometimes. It's a good serve from CACHIN as Nadal misses it wide. So 1 game for CACHIN. A big struggle to get there, but he did get on the board, did CACHIN. He'll be excited about that. Hey, what's up, Minaur? Hello, hello. I like drawings are too pronounced, over the top, exaggerated striking. Nice. Yeah, I like art too. That's very kind of big scope, and I like sometimes simplistic stuff. My biggest thing is like drawing style. If I'm really attracted to the way you draw, like I think what is cool about art is that everybody draws in a different way. So if I don't think there's necessarily a bad way to draw, although there probably is. There is. There definitely is. But everybody has a different way of drawing, and I think that's the coolest thing about it, and that's weird. It's like tennis. Everybody has a different style of playing tennis. Everyone is just a little bit different, and that's cool. If you're being true to your game. And tennis is a form of art, I'd say. Although that now you're pushing what art means, but it can be. He had 10-match losing streak before Madrid. Okay, 10 matches, yeah. Then he beat Tiafoe and Offner, so yeah, I feel like Offner is another guy who just sneaked into the top 50 a little bit. Offner and CACHIN, I felt like kind of sneaked their way up, but shout out to them. If you're in the top 50, you're in the top 50. I went to art school as a youth. Drawing was my big thing. Yeah, it was my big thing super young. I'm only really, it's been a weird journey because I was playing tennis like almost every day, doing stuff super creative, and then I took a break from tennis about 7 years ago, and I was just doing like kind of creative stuff, and then I went all in back. I went back to tennis and went all in with it, and for the last little bit, I've kind of been less creative, and now I'm trying to find a way to do both, or at least now I'm trying to be creative again. So it's been kind of an up and down thing, but now I feel like I'm doing both. But yeah, anyway, going on some kind of journey with my interests. Anyway, I'm having pizza. Sounds fun. Pizza's always good. I'm jealous, despite it being like 10:30 in the morning. I thought they eat the bagels and breadsticks because I do the same. I do the same too. Fair enough. Might as well eat them. Who's Jamie Murray? Former world #1 in doubles. Andy Murray's brother. Andy Murray's brother. Yep. Hey, what's up, David? Nadal's draw's looking easier and easier. How's his endurance looking after longer rallies? It's looking good. But yeah, Nadal's draw is great. I was just saying that. Lehechka, I mean, Montero could have been tough because he's a clay quarter. He looked great against Tsitsipas. But Lehechka, I mean, Rafa should get through to the quarters, honestly. If he's playing at this level and if his health is there. So, Jamie is Andy Murray's better looking brother. Fair enough. Brother of Moza. I think Jamie's older, but looks younger, but not 100% sure. I'm not sure either, to be honest, who's older. Hey, what's up, Naked Eyes? Jasmine winning, let's go. Yep, Paulini in the lead. Back and cross court, forehand, the backhand of Nadal, that goes out. So 15 all. Although actually, is Paulini even winning? I think Mira got the lead now. Mira's up 4-0 in the tiebreaker. Looking at the score. Serve. Out wide, forehand to CACHIN, the back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN, back to the back into Rafa, lob, way up high. Forehand to CACHIN, back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN, back to the back into Rafa, cross court. Forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, back in CACHIN, cross court. Forehand to Rafa, back in CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa again, cross court. Back in slice of CACHIN. That goes out. 30-15. Because does CACHIN, I mean, it's quite kind of obvious, but does CACHIN have the things that can really hurt Rafa? I don't think so. I mean, what he can hurt Rafa with is pushing him into long rallies and testing out his endurance and testing out his physical stamina and his physical health. Outside of that, if Rafa's playing like he did against Minaur, or if Rafa's playing even, I mean, no offense to CACHIN, but if he's even playing 2%, 5% of what he should be on clay, 5-10%, then it should be no contest. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But CACHIN's struggle is beating these top guys, and now he's playing Rafa on clay, who's at a very top level. It's kind of hard to see a route there for CACHIN. But he's trying out different things. He's trying out some drop shots, which is good. That's what you want to do. Trying out some drop shots. Paulini really sneaky in the draw, no one watching, maybe because she's a short queen. Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan of Paulini. I think she's great. So it's good to see her having some success. It kind of surprised me, to be honest. I enjoyed the Ons match. Her husband's hilarious, got into Panko's nerves. Interesting. Screw you, Mira. What? Paulini served 5-2. Yeah, now it's the tiebreaker, and Mira is up, so I'd watch out for Mira Andreeva. She fights like hell too. I mean, she doesn't have a weakness, really. Not even the mental game or anything. She just doesn't have a big weakness. Still needs to improve on the serve, but I mean, still needs to improve on the serve, and but the weaknesses are very few and far between. She could probably improve a little bit on her probably defensive capabilities a little bit more, but it's all there for her. It's all there for her. Mirror in the wall. She just looks like one of these kind of Steffi Graf types, like, honestly. I don't know exactly how good she's going to be or what she's going to do, but that's all I'm going to say. Those are big words. but she looks like one of these Steffi Graf types who just is a diamond right away. Like, just comes out of the blue, is a diamond right away. Baby Rafa holding up finger again, saying my papa is number one. I love it, Cedric. Baby Rafa, the next king of clay, the prince of clay. Backhand of CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. So much topspin on that forehand. You can see from court level how insane Rafa's forehands are to defend against. I mean, you've heard countless horror stories from playing Rafa, especially on a clay court, of how you hit the shot and it seems like just 1 second later the Rafa shot is already like 2 feet over your head. But yeah, when you're watching at court level, I hope they stay at this angle. It's very clear to see how tough it is playing Rafa on clay. CACHIN with 2 errors, by the way, off that with a forehand in the net. Who's Mira? Dreva played really well at Wimbledon last year. Yeah, she did. I don't know who Mira is. Never heard of her. 1530. They've both won 8 points on serve, but CACHIN's won 8 out of 17, and Nadal's won 8 out of 11, which is small difference there. A little bit of a difference. Backhand way up high, forehand of CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Backhand CACHIN now, forehand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Forehand Rafa again, cross score, that's a good shot. So 1540. My favorite tennis baby is the daughter of Mehdi. Super cute and looks naughty. Okay. I love their relationship, Medvedev and his girlfriend Daria. I mean, that's a weird thing to say. They seem like they're happy together. And the coach is hilarious, Gilles or whatever. It just seems like a fun team to be involved with, Medvedev's team. That's all I'll say. Either fun or a nightmare. All right, 1540 here with Nadal with 2 break points. Forehand to CACHIN, the backhand of Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN, down the line, forehand to Rafa. The backhand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa again. Gets over it. Forehand to CACHIN just stays in, inside out. It's been a real struggle for CACHIN here, which really just feels like it's going to be tough, but you never know. $30-40. One more point to save here for CACHIN. One more point to save. Backhand, forehand to CACHIN. Deuce here, CACHIN. He's trying to at least stay close here. But it's been a real struggle. I mean, CACHIN, the weapons he has to verse Rafa are not there, like Rafa's weapons on the surface. His strengths are not there. But he's at least trying to stay close, doing what he can. I want to see him just straight up, like, if his game doesn't work, where he's just rallying from the back of the court, I'd love to see him just, like, start serving and volleying like Maxime Cressy. Just start hitting drop shots every point. It's a good forehand from Nadal. Really pushing CACHIN behind the baseline. Really, really strong. Medvedev's daughter is going to get spoiled rotten by her real dad. Rublev is the real dad. I've seen that joke around. That's crazy. The godfather is actually the father. The circle of Medi, like Rublev and Karin, they all look chill. I agree. They all seem like super fun to be around. And isn't that what Andre said in that one interview? Was it? I can't remember where it was. But Medvedev was right there on courtside. It was so awkward. But backhand, the backhand of CACHIN. Forehand, backhand of CACHIN down the line. Backhand Rafa, forehand volley CACHIN. Forehand, I mean, come on. I mean, listen. I just saying how it is. It's clear CACHIN is a talented, great player. But he doesn't really have the weapons to verse guys like this. So it's just tough. Hello, David. What's up? What's up? Scary thought Rublev is the Godfather. Just thinking of the friend Godfather movies. You come to me the day of my daughter's wedding. That's so funny, actually. Rublev is the Godfather. Advantage to Rafa. I'm getting distracted from the match, guys. Serve, forehand to Rafa, backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, backhand to CACHIN. Cross court, forehand to Rafa. Cross court, backhand to CACHIN on full slide. That's a forehand put away. Rafa's deadly on the court. Rafa's deadly on a clay court. If you come on a tennis court and you see Rafa on the other side, you better run. You don't serve, you run. When that forehand comes striking, 4-1, comes striking like lightning. And we're still seeing that forehand today. He's at 4-1. He's at 4-1. Rafa, if I'm not mistaken, going for his win number 1,074. Anthony, it was Rublev himself who said he's the real father in front of Medvedev and his wife on TV. Yeah, no, I remember that. I just can't remember where it was at, honestly. I love that clip. The clip was so awkward. My eyes are super red due to the extreme heat. Yeah, it sounds brutal in the Philippines. They're on the healing stage, which is still painful and itchy. Ouch. Hope you feel better, Alexi. That's tough. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the heat in Philippines seems unbearable to me. Also, the way you've described it to me. You come to me and tell me I'll never be able to get to the quarterfinal of a Grand Slam. You come to me the day of my daughter's wedding. You tell me I will never get to the quarterfinal of a Grand Slam. Rublev is the Godfather. You should watch it. Yeah, I've seen that clip before, but I can't remember what tournament. Nice to see another sport apart from football. Not everyone is crazy about it. Sorry, Ipswich Town fans. And here, relax and stop the pain. Yeah, we're focusing on tennis and Rafa. It's okay for me because Man City is winning. Now we're gonna start a war in the chat. The TV commentators called it an unforced error by Rublev. Because the implications are just so goddamn awkward, honestly. It was a funny moment, though. Rublev is an innocent man. He just didn't think before he spoke, and that's fine. It's very funny. (4-1). Backhand, the backhand of CACHIN. It's forehand, the net from Rafa, so love 15. Never seen Rafa, but numerous other Spanish, both male and lady. Tom, you've never seen Rafa play? Is that what you're saying? Or don't know who Rafa is? Wow, yeah, that's crazy to me. But join in. I mean, every like new fans of Rafa or whatever, it's cool. There's a lot of gatekeeping involved. I'm just like, hey, here's Rafa playing. Never too late to join in, although it's a better time than any because who knows how much longer he's going to be playing. I love dark humor, but only works with close friends. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's when you know when you're really good friends is when you can just kind of joke around and kind of say anything. And yeah, say super dark jokes or nonsensical jokes. That's when you know you're really good friends. Serve Rafa. Forehand volley of Rafa. That's put away. 30-15. Rafa, absolutely. Goat. He's a goat. I love these matches, though, in Madrid, because no matter what happens from here on out, that match against Minaur, Rafa said it himself. He woke up most days just wishing that he had another match like that. So seeing him get another go at it like that was, and being able to play at that level, it gave people a lot of nostalgia, and it gave people a lot of kind of I don't know what the right word is, but another reminder of Rafa's greatness. If we needed another reminder, which we didn't really, but we wanted one, you know. First serve in the net from Rafa, so second serve here. Serve from Rafa to get 5-1. Back in CACHIN to forehand to Rafa. That goes long, so 40-30. Hello everybody. Joining in as well. Rafa ritual is goated. Absolutely. His little ticks. They're always there. Even after all these years, they're still there. Andreeva, by the way, very close to is that getting to the round of 16 again? Or are they playing round of 16 right now? I think they're playing they're playing fourth round, so to get to the quarterfinals, I guess. Yeah, Mira to get to the quarterfinals. I'd watch out for Andreeva, honestly. This was the tournament last year where she made her breakthrough. Got to the round 16 as like a 15-year-old, so she likes this tournament, clearly. Backhand across court, forehand of CACHIN, forehand Rafa, forehand CACHIN, backhand of Rafa, forehand, stays real short in the court, backhand lob, backhand smash, clearly put away. Rafa's going to love every minute of this. This is a perfect match for him to conserve his energy a little bit, probably not waste too much mental energy before taking on Yuri Lehechka, potentially Medvedev in the quarters, although we'll see. He's got the winner of this one, by the way, will take on Lehechka, and then after that, Rafa will take on the winner of Medvedev and Bublik if he can get through Lehechka, which is an if. Lehechka did grow up playing on clay, and he does like clay. But I think he's mentioned that he thinks that other surfaces might become his best once he's able to practice on those other surfaces more. Kind of similar to Berdych as well. It's a great forehand from CACHIN. 30 love. Forehand Kachin, cross court, back into Rafa, down the line. Backhand Kachin defending lob, smash Rafa. Backhand slice of Kachin. Forehand Rafa. That's too good. So 30-15. Someone fell down in the stands, the umpire says. Wow. That's a scary thing to hear. It's going to be a delay. It's going to be a delay. I don't know if somebody fainted or literally fell or something. It's not quite clear. Who's got the best clay outfit this year? I loved what Fernandez was wearing. Rabakna always has great fits. At least Rafa's playing longer here than in Barcelona. Do you think the financial impact is good? Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is great for Rafa. You know, I think that Barcelona was like kind of him starting to. Barcelona was just him being like just testing the waters of how he can play on clay. It didn't feel like he was quite himself. He hadn't played a clay tournament in 2 years. Madrid feels like the first tournament, even including Brisbane, where it feels like Rafa is Rafa, and he's played it. He's played up to it, and now he's really ready to go. So Casper's playing today too. Yeah. Casper, that'll be good too. Casper is a big person to watch. I would imagine kind of like Rafa, it's not particularly fun to play a guy who has that much topspin on his forehand on a court that bounces with this high of a bounce. It just doesn't sound fun to me, honestly. I wouldn't want to play on this court against Casper. Well, I'd probably take it. I'd lose though. I'd lose to anybody, but that doesn't sound fun. But yeah, he'll take on Cameron Norrie later. I thought it's Medi versus Bublik. Yeah, did I say something different? I meant Medi Bublik. All right, we're back playing. 30 all here. 30 all here. As Nadal hits a winner forehand return. Nadal is really looking to get this in a breadstick here. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to Kachin. Cross court backhand of Rafa. Forehand to Kachin. Backhand Rafa. Forehand drop shot Kachin. Oh, it hits the tape and goes over. Apology from Kachin, but he's going to take it. He's going to take it. It would have been cruel if it came from Rafa's side, but Kachin needs it. Give it to him. Give it to him. That's fine. Although I was in the Wimbledon grounds, Rafa versus Roger final, the near dark, forgot what year, 2008 is your guess. Yeah, no, you're on the money. If it's the classic final I'm thinking of where Rafa got the trophy, it was 2008. Still a contender for the greatest match ever played. Not just the last couple sets, but every set was unbelievable, and there are like a million storylines surrounding that match. Couldn't have asked or dreamed of a better tennis match, basically. Backhand, cross court, forehand of Kachin, backhand of Rafa, cross court, forehand of Kachin. That goes out. Back to deuce. Because Roger had won 5 consecutive Wimbledons, and Rafa was the guy that people thought was never going to win on grass. To beat prime Roger like that when both of them were playing at that high of a level Roger trying to come back from 2 sets love down. I mean, come on. I mean, we all know that final. That one's insane. No one game weight ahead of myself, but imagine Rafa versus Carlos final. That'd be insane. It'd be in the history books. I really hope we get more Rafa versus Carlos and Yannick, because we got Novak versus those guys. We need to see Rafa. 2023 was Carlos and Yannick versus Novak. How fun would it be if 2024 is at least partially Rafa versus those guys? We can dream. Back in cross court, the forehand to Rafa, back cross court, back into CACHIN. Back into Rafa, that's a great shot. Goes behind CACHIN. Goes behind CACHIN. And when you're sliding on the clay, it can be so tough to kind of switch directions. And that's why it's part of why hitting behind the opponent is just such a good play on the clay court. And Rafa goes behind CACHIN for a winner. He's at advantage. Can't remember that. I think Rafa wins 2008 and then Rafa 2009. 2007 Roger and then 2008 Rafa. One of the best matches of all time. Am I correct? Off by 1 year. Set point for Rafa. Forehand. Back in Rafa. That goes long though. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Does remind me of the 4 set points that Nadal failed to convert before he converted on the 5th yesterday. Or sorry, 2 days ago. Now that's a 2-week Masters. 2-week Masters, so you get a break for a day. But it reminded me of that. Forehand put away. It's looking like CACHIN's at least going to try to make it 6-2. Both these this game has been a struggle, and the game that he held was a struggle, but it's at least getting something, potentially. Are those old man memes of Nadal and Djokovic even a meme anymore? Exactly. I keep thinking about it, because Novak is still world number 1. And it feels like Djokovic is just like, it doesn't even feel real anymore. How long Djokovic has been at the top of the game. Or just been in tennis. Forehand squash shot, that's put away. Rafa shot so strong, such great width and depth on him consistently, so tough. That's what it takes on a clay court. It's just being a little bit too good on every shot, backhand, forehand, being smart, figuring out ways to open up the court, break down rallies, like build out points. Like Rafa is the best of that by far, and just a million other reasons which play right into his hands on clay. It's not like on grass where a lot of it is great, fantastic serves and fantastic shots and improvisations, great volleys. A lot of these are just having the most like average good shot. That's kind of what clay is sometimes, I think. Back in cross court, that's put away. So advantage to Rafa, just being the more solid, more consistent. Hello, Sean. What is happening in the stand? I'm not sure exactly what happened, but somebody fell. But it seems like it's all right. They're keeping playing. They're still playing, so. Only play with friends. Nice. Bachner's wearing a cardigan versus Sheriff. I think she's worn a few different outfits, though. That wasn't the one I was talking about. But, yep. That's a good serve from CACHIN. So, back to deuce. CACHIN clutching right at the end. Anthony, how fast do you serve? Well, sometimes I have a bit of slice on my serve. I when it's in, it's fast for my height, but my first serve percentage is horrendous. My first serve percentage is horrendous. So I'm actually currently in the middle of switching up how I serve and finding a different way to serve where I don't serve to hit super fast, but more just kind of get a solid first serve in. That's a great forehand cross court from Rafa. I'm currently in the middle of doing that. I'm watching different serve videos and working on the serve to make it a more of a thing. But what my friends always say is I don't toss the ball super high. I just toss it super low, and somehow I'm able to slice it super fast. When I get it in, it's kind of crazy, but it's not high percentage at all. So, but yeah, that's how I like to serve. Just a lot of slice on it for some reason. Serve CACHIN down the line, back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. That's called out, and Rafa calls it out too. If Rafa says it's out, it's out. You don't even check the mark. You don't even check the mark. Rafa is the equivalent of Clay Hawkeye. You don't check the mark. If Rafa says it's out, it's out. 6-1. If Rafa says it's out, it's out. That's it. Vamos Rafa. Yep. He got the first set 6-1. Took out Blanche. Darwin Blanche took out Minaur. 3 very different opponents. Now against Pedro CACHIN. And 14 winners, 9 unforced errors for Rafa, which is very, very good. 8 winners, 14 unforced errors for CACHIN. Basically flipped. Basically flipped between the two of them. Neither guy coming to net very much at all. 7 times these two have come to net. CACHIN's won 3 out of 6 when he's come to net. A lot of baseline points, and Rafa's winning them. Rafa, by the way, is making... Wow, that's a crazy stat. CACHIN has made 100% of Rafa's first serves in play. That's what it says. CACHIN has made 100% of Rafa's first serves in play when returning them. But I guess he's just not getting enough on the return. Rafa has made 90% of his first serve returns in play. That's actually kind of ridiculous. And I'll look at the stats here for... does it have winners to errors? It should. So yeah, very similar to what they said. And where are the other ones here? First serve percentage. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, this is about what you'd expect. Rafa yet to face a break point, though has already broken CACHIN 3 times. 6-1 first set. Anthony serving like Hubie. No way. Cedric, I'm like 5'5". I'm a short dude. I'm not gonna be serving like Hubie. I'm a short dude. There's no way. There's no way. I could pretend I could jump super high and try to. I could jump super. I could stand on a chair. Be a bit embarrassing. Rafa highlighted that Wimby lost against Roger in his book, Rafa. Yeah, yeah, and I've read that section of the book, and it's quite phenomenal. I bet you try to serve like Roddick. If I have the chair. No sweat for Rafa. Vamos. 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 Well, what I was saying in the last stream, we figured out in the last stream that I did when I was streaming, I can't remember, when I was streaming Sabalik. No, it was Nadal's last match against Minaur. Vamos means let's go. And vamonos means let's get out of here. Let's leave. Let's go. So what we figured out is when a player is winning, they should say vamos, let's go, positive. And when a player is losing, they should say vamonos, which means let's get the hell out of here. Let's get out. We need to get out of here. When you're losing to Rafa 6-1, you say vamonos, let's leave. Let's leave. Very negative. Let's get out of the court. So Rafa should be saying vamos. CACHIN should be saying vamonos. I thought that was so funny. But yeah, my serve is one of the biggest things I need to improve. My forehand is quite good. But the craziest story about me as a tennis player, which I'm sure I've shared, is that up until I was like 17, I played tennis almost every day. I had 2 hands on both sides, like a Monica Seles, like a Fabrice Santoro, like a Kevin Curran. Very few, though, play like that. But I had 2 hands on both sides when I used to play tennis, for whatever reason. I wish I didn't. I wish I tried tennis in a different way, but all my brothers played that way. My dad was very, very good. He was playing like the equivalent of like ITF tournaments. He could have gone professional if he tried harder, it seems like. He beat like the number 200 in the world, like 6-1, 6-1. So if he tried harder to get pro, it was hard to go professional back in the day, but if he tried harder to go professional, like he would have been able to. So whatever. Anyway, I grew up playing 2 hands on both sides. But then I stopped playing because I was playing every day. I started becoming like a bit like a Nick Kyrgios or like a Bublik on court. Like I was hitting my racket against the fence. I was starting to get angry. I was like, I don't enjoy playing tennis anymore, honestly. It wasn't good. I wasn't in a good place, and I was like, I need to do something different, you know? So then I stopped playing tennis for like 5 years, and now I've gone back into it. As soon as I started playing tennis again, not only did I switch to a one-handed forehand, which is the correct way, but also I switched to a one-handed backhand because that's the way I always wanted to play. Even at the end of when I was playing, when I was like 17 or 16 before I stopped, I was like, I kind of want to play with a one-hander like Federer, and now that's the way I play. I think my forehand is quite good, the one-handed forehand I have, but drop shot from Rafa. Oh, CACHIN gets it. Nadal gets it. No way. What a rally to start off. Tweener from CACHIN. Hits it in the net. That's a time when CACHIN shouldn't have hit the tweener, but I've seen CACHIN hit the tweener before, which is really weird. CACHIN is either playing like Gilles Simon and just rallying from the back and not doing anything special, or he's in between the leg shot, so that's cool. That was a really weird point. Rafa hit this backspin drop shot that went about 100 feet in the air before it dropped and went back into the net. And then Rafa hit with a great lob. CACHIN should have won that point. If he ran around and didn't hit a tweener, he would have won the point. He went well out of position to hit that tweener. He literally lost his footing just to hit that tweener. That's not ideal. You want to have a lot of time when you go between the legs, but you don't want to completely go out of position to hit one. I saw Roddick once. He is awesome. Roddick is great. Roddick is underrated. Like, in some ways, he's underrated. Roddick is a phenomenal player. Absolutely a world number one caliber player, which he was. He should have won more than one slam, for sure. Epic fail. Yeah, exactly. 15 all cure Rafa. Backhand CACHIN, the back into Rafa, cross court, forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, back cross court, forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, down the line. Back into CACHIN, forehand to Rafa, back and slice to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, inside out. That goes out, so 15-30. Rafa may be blinking to start out this second set. Yeah, my forehand, I think, is quite good. I'm fast. My speed is probably my biggest strength, because I'm quite fast. But there's a lot of things I need to work on. Like, my backhand is quite poor. My serve is quite poor. I'm decent at the net. I'm decent at strategy, I guess. But just casual things. Like when a player is getting into position well for shots, especially when a player is hitting very deep consistently, hitting very fast, getting in position to hit my forehand, my backhand. My serve, like I said, my backhand definitely needs a lot of improvement, my backhand. That tweener is going to be on Tennis TV, bro. No, that's when Medvedev would have been like, this is not going to be on Tennis TV, bro. Hey, what's up, Rennie? Rennie Nightcart, 1950. Coach and mentor of Jimmy Connors, Pancho Segura was two-handed on both sides. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Segura was a great player himself. Although, was he always two-handed on both sides? Like, did he always play that way? Yeah, like on his Wikipedia page, it says two-handed forehand, one-handed backhand. So I think I've seen Segura play with two-hand backhand. I think it was a bit somewhere in the middle, but that is interesting, Rennie. Great trick shots and great footwork. Yeah, I appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, I guess with the video that I put out, I definitely want to put out more videos of me playing, because one thing I've always been able to do is hit trick shots. I'm not gonna lie. That's something I've always enjoyed doing, even when I was a kid. I would lose matches in tournaments, but I could hit trick shots. So that's something I want to do more of. Hey, what's up, Andrea? Anthony, and sincerely, thank you for the precious time you spend with us. I'm glad to know you're a one-handed player, because I'm too. My adolescence, I had some problems with power flat shots on the backhand side, especially on high and deep bounces, but the solution is always in hard work and a specific gym workout. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will protect the one-handed backhand always. Not just because I love it, because I also think it can be a great shot. And I think partially we saw that with Dimitrov in Miami, that can still survive at the top. We saw that with Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo. And yeah, I think it takes a lot of work, but it's so good when you flatten out the one-hander. There's no other shot like it in all of sports. It's just an incredible thing to watch. And it feels so good to play with the one-hander, honestly. And even two-handed players need a one-hander sometimes. That's a good play from CACHIN, keeping it deep consistently, so he's at advantage. And yeah, I appreciate it, Andrea. I really do. Joining in for the call. It's advantage here for CACHIN. I think that's his first break point of the match. So chance here for CACHIN. Goff and Keys, by the way, 5-5 in the first set. That should be interesting. Sorry, second break point. After the one that he had earlier in this game. First serve goes out from Rafa, so second serve here. It's a chance for CACHIN. I just wonder what in the hell is going on in CACHIN's head, you know? I wonder what his thought is. I wonder if he believes that he can actually find a way to pull this match out. Forehand to Rafa. The back into CACHIN. Back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Slice the forehand to Rafa. Inside out. Forehand to CACHIN. Down the line. Forehand squash shot Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Inside out. He does break. CACHIN with the first game of the match. Is pickleball an official sport? No. Nope. 1-0 for CACHIN. 1-0 for CACHIN. Wow. What a start. Okay. CACHIN already with something to say in the second set. It's kind of interesting. By the way, average forehand spin rate. They're showing kind of an interesting stat. Average forehand spin rate from Rafa, 51 RPMs in the first set. Especially when he's going cross court to the ad side, it's a lot of RPMs, which makes sense because that's where CACHIN's backhand is. For a lefty, that's where the forehand would be. Like for Montgomery yesterday, that's where her forehand would be. But for most players are righties, that's where their backhands are. So kind of the classic Federer-Rafa situation. If you can hit it high to the backhand, it's often can make it tough. I mean, CACHIN's got a two-hander, not a one-hander, but either way. Backhand, that goes out from Rafa. So 15 love for CACHIN. Some momentum start off the second set. He answered your question, Anthony. Yeah, true. With the fist bump as well. I think CACHIN believes a little bit. That's a forehand into the ground from Rafa. We'll see. Rafa, come on, finish this in straights. Rafa's got to. He's got to, Lexi. Conserve some energy. But I think he's like not used to this kind of situation as much. So he's still getting used to the mental side of things and keeping up his intensity. But it is CACHIN leading early. So we'll see how it all unfolds. CACHIN, yeah. CACHIN finding something here, making it a little bit interesting. Forehand, the backhand of CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Back into CACHIN. That goes out, so 30-15. Yeah, what's up, KC? 30-15 here. Paolini, by the way, trying to do one of her famous comebacks. Andreeva serving for the match. She's at 15-30. Something going on there. Serve a wide forehand. Oh, jumping volley. Why do you do that? It's a good shot, though. All right, do that. CACHIN. There you go. I was saying no weapons to hurt Rafa if you can do that every time. Come to net with the jumping volley. It worked that time. I don't know what that was. I don't think I've ever seen that shot before, actually. He jumped up and he hit like a drop volley. I don't think I've ever even seen Federer hit that. CACHIN is so like random. He's either just rallying from the back of the court or he's hitting a twin or a weird jumping drop volley. Drop shot. I like it. More variety from CACHIN. Already won double the amount of games I won the first set, which is just 2, but it sounds better when I say it that way. 2-0 for CACHIN. It sounds better when I say double the amount of games. KC. Yep. What's up, KC? Let's see what Rafa can do. Rafa should just play 2 sets always. I can't afford him to play in 3. I do the decision. Fair enough, Lexi. Serve from Rafa. Down the tee, back into CACHIN. Forehand Rafa, put away. 15 love. I still have Rafa finishing this off in 2. That obviously seems like the most likely scenario. But let's see. Let's see how CACHIN's level is as well. Hello, hello. Hello, Casey. 3, by the way, in the set so far, that was Nadal's first winner. Very different from the first set, the start of this one. 3 winners for Kachin, 1 for Rafa, which, I mean, it's not really ideal either. The fact that Kachin's up 2-0 hit just 3 winners. Although, I guess that's not that bad. But 3 winners for Kachin, 1 for Rafa. In the first set, it was 14 winners, Rafa, 8 errors. And for Kachin, it was 8 winners and 14 errors. So, 14 winners, Rafa, 8 Kachin. So far, it's Kachin leading the winners count. Go away, Kachin. Go away, Kachin. Yep. I was lurking, ball, done with that now. Okay, nice, Casey. I was saying earlier, Casey, I might go on a run after this. So, I'm doing more of that. I'm trying to go on more runs recently. Yeah, I appreciate you joining in. Also, might play some tennis later. I'm getting into the habit of doing more kind of runs and playing, which is great. But wow, Paolini does break. In Dubai, it felt like Paolini was having a comeback every other match in Dubai. She's looking for another comeback versus Mira. Mira herself had a great comeback from 5-2 down in the first set. $30-15 here, Rafa. At least get on the board. Yeah, I need to go out to the park or something too. Nice. That goes out. So 40-15 for Rafa. Cedric the Entertainer. Here we go. 40-15 for Rafa. Most interesting aspect of this isn't even Rafa, because we know Rafa is probably going to fight and he's going to work. He's going to do his part to get the break back. What's interesting is Kachin. We're going to see what Kachin is really made of here. Backhand down the middle, forehand Rafa. Back into Kachin. Forehand Rafa again. Forehand Kachin, cross court. Back in Rafa. That's in the net. A couple more poor shots here to start off. $40-30. Kachin, hello. Yeah, exactly. Kachin showed up. He's looking to make himself a presence in this match. First serve in the net from Rafa. Nice to have the long days now. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Exactly. Yeah, yesterday I was able to be out super late. It only got dark at like 9 something. Or like it was like 9 o'clock. Backhand. Forehand to Rafa. Inside out. It's a great shot from Rafa. At least get on the board 2-1. Stay close. We'll see what Kachin is made of. How is he serving, Kachin? Let's check the serve. Let's check the serve. I guess match stats might tell us more than just the set by itself, because he's had just one service game. So far in the match, his serve has not been great. Just 58% of first serves in. Not doing great at winning a serve, so let's see if he can pick that up. I don't expect him to pick that up in a big way, but Here we go. Hour and 6 minutes in. I feel like Rafa's not going to play around. I think he's going to want to break back right here. I think he's got I'm going to make a prediction that he's going to suddenly I think Rafa's been playing at almost like he's been winning, but he's not been playing at quite at the level of intensity he was playing against Minaur, and it's been well enough. I think he's going to put like 100% of his intensity into breaking back right here. It's my prediction. We'll see. Backhand, lob down the middle, forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa, back to forehand to CACHIN, back into Rafa. Again down the middle, or just rallying at the moment. Back in Rafa. Down the line. Back into CACHIN. Cross court. The forehand to Rafa. Back cross court. Back in CACHIN down the middle. Backhand goes behind CACHIN. Backhand slice. Forehand Rafa. Back in CACHIN's a lob. Stays in, but smash from Rafa put away. Love 15. Love 15. A lot of shots hit there. But it feels like Rafa was the puppet master. Always in control. By the way, guys, like always, please don't forget to subscribe. Like, if you are new, if you are just joining in and new to the channel. I'm so excited for the Olympics. Can you imagine Rafa playing the Olympics at this level and probably even better? Maybe if he stays healthy. If he can play at all. I hope he can play at all. But if he can stay healthy, it would be amazing to get Rafa at the Olympics playing like this. Because, listen. There are the two scariest things in tennis. I'll tell you the two scariest things in tennis. The two top scariest things in tennis. Number one, Rafa at Roland Garros. Don't think anybody will argue that. Number two, Rafa playing for his country, Spain. I think those are the two scariest things in tennis. If we could get Rafa at a high level for the Olympics at Roland Garros, watch out. Forehand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN, forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN. It's in the net. 15:30. CACHIN's not Nadal's not really going straight out for winners, but I do feel like his level has risen here in this game. Forgot I pissed off Finko. I guess I did, Joe. That's number 3. That's number 3. Maybe Danielle Collins talking off the crowd like she was yesterday. I was dying laughing when she did that. But good for her. Honestly. Drop shot from CACHIN is very good. 30-all. I mean, it wasn't even particularly great drop shot, but just caught Nadal off guard. 30-all. Drop shot can be great on clay, especially if people standing so far back behind the court as well. I thought you were going to say Rublev's abusing himself at the tennis racket. Yeah, well, no. I mean, that one, for real. That's something you don't want to see. Nalbandian kicking a line judge at Queens that one year. I still can't believe that happened. And that was basically that's the last match I ever remember Nalbandian playing. It's a shame that he stained his legacy a little bit like that. But Sabalenka versus Collins should be exciting tonight. Yeah, that should be great. We potentially are going to be doing that one. We don't know for sure, but it seems like we're going to be doing that one. So it seems like we should be doing that one. Imagine a Penko or Kostyuk or Collins matchup. Yeah, well, I mean, Penko and Collins have played each other before. Also adding Camila Giorgi into the mix. That's fun. That's fun to watch. Forehand to Rafa, backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, backhand CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, backhand to CACHIN. Forehand of CACHIN, backhand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Inside out, forehand to Rafa. Backhand slice to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, backhand to CACHIN. Get to the backhand of Rafa, forehand to CACHIN. Forehand Rafa cross court. All the levels picked up here. Forehand to Rafa. Again, side into that ad side. Forehand again. And that backhand slice goes out. What did I say? Rafa's going to raise his level here in this game. He's not letting CACHIN get out of this game. He's going to put him in a chokehold. UFC style. He's not letting CACHIN out of his grip in this game. You better believe it. Nalbandian unleashing his inner Cantana. Yeah, exactly. Giorgi is part of the Mean Girls, really? Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. I've seen her have a bit of attitude on the court. I mean, I remember against Venus last year where Venus fell on the ground and started screaming. Georgie was like, "Come on!" It was so rude, so rude. That's in the net from CACHIN, so advantage to Rafa. Ganchi, vamos, Rafa. Rafa picking up here. He's at advantage. Yeah, I think so. Lexi. I would say so. Not playing neither to his 50% Nadal. I believe that in this match, the triumph's going to be for Nadal. More in the next matches, I don't know whether we'll reach. Yeah, I think he's just too good for CACHIN. So even playing at 50 or less, I think he's too good. I agree. And what's up, Lewis, as well? Rafa checking the serve, but it's back to deuce as Rafa misses that one long. Serve down T, 4 into Rafa. 4 into CACHIN. It's put away. Wow, big roar from CACHIN. I love that. Big roar from CACHIN. Takes some guts too, by the way, to do that with the Spanish crowd watching on. Serve from CACHIN. It's a let. First serve in the net. Second serve. Forehand of CACHIN. The back into Rafa. Cross court. 4 into CACHIN. Back into Rafa. Back cross court. 4 into CACHIN. Down the line. It's a great shot. CACHIN's at 3-1. Wow, it's a game to CACHIN. This has gotten a little bit interesting. It got very interesting. 3-1. Joe, you have to check out the Cantana fly kicking Palace fan during a football match, Anthony. Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out. I'll look that up. Can't remember CACHIN. I think he beat Stefanos in a very convincing way. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of another player. Yeah, no, I think he did beat Tsitsipas one time. That was his best win. He also, I think he had like the shot of the year in that match too, where he hit between the leg shot. I can't remember where it was. I think it was on clay though. I'll look that up to make sure, but I'm pretty sure you're right, Lexi. No, okay, no, he lost to Tsitsipas in that match. That was in Barcelona last year. But that is the shot where he hit that shot. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's beaten a top guy like that. I'll look it up. There's a way of looking it up. At least if it was a top 10 player. This Wikipedia will say it. Backhand to the forehand to Rafa. That's a poor drop shot. Rafa's now hit a few very, very poor shots in the set so far. I don't know exactly why. His game has just kind of fallen off here a little bit. It's a poor drop shot. See if he can get it back on track. So CACHIN has beaten Thiem before, Dominic Thiem at the French Open. Yeah, I remember that last year. 5 sets. Thiem nearly came back from 2 sets left down. But Thiem was not in the top 10 at the time. He beat Monfils last year in Lyon, which is a good win, but also Monfils was not in the top 10 at the time. He also beat RBA last year, also not in the top 10 at the time. And Tiafoe this year. So I think Tiafoe this year might actually be his highest level tour level win. Highest ranked tour level win. It might not be if it's a guy who's just never reached the top 10 and is like number 15 in the world or something, but I don't know if he's had a win that good. That's a great backhand cross court from Rafa. Let's see if that picks him up. He ended the de Minaur match with a sensational backhand cross court winner. So CACHIN could be catching up. Yep. CACHIN could be catching up. Catching Lexi, yeah. just butchering the name a little bit, but it's all good. 6 backhand winners for Rafa, 0 for CACHIN. Forgive the red-eyed girl. Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Exactly. What a great book, by the way. I read that whole book in one day. It's one of the only books I've ever read in one day. I don't know how I did it. I spent like most of the day reading that book, almost the entire day. It was kind of crazy. I literally read that whole book in one day. I can't remember how old I was. I was probably like 14. Only now just getting back to reading, but I used to love reading. And those books were amazing. The movies don't do them justice. I mean, the movies are great too. But I mean, it's not like Harry Potter. Like the books are so much better than the movies. That's a great backhand cross court. Harry Potter too, but 1530 for Catchin. What is going on? This is not what I expected. $15.30 at 1-3. I love dystopian novels. Yeah, exactly. Those are some of my favorites. I love sci-fi, dystopian. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, all of that stuff is awesome. It's also what I also love, like cyberpunk and stuff. Like there's a lot of that kind of stuff I like. Backhand drop shot. Oh, what a neat fake out backhand slice drop shot. Catchin's got some skills. Catchin's got some skills. They're on display here. That's why I said Catchin is so random. He's either hitting like a hot shot. He's like either hitting one of the shots of the match or he's just grinding it out. That was such a neat little shot there. It's like he waited a long time as if he was going to go cross court, and then he just kind of leaves it and pushes it down the line. Great hand skill there. So it's 15-40, 2 break points. First serve goes long. Second serve here from Rafa. Serve. The backhand of Catchin. Back into Rafa. The forehand of Catchin. Back into Rafa. The forehand of Catchin. Oh, that's called out from Rafa. Let's see here. Nadal challenging the call. Nadal challenging the call. Wow. Yeah, no, I love those books. Is there going to be a challenge? It seems like Rafa's sitting down. Challenge. And it is out. Okay, I guess he knew it was out. Wow, 2 breaks for Pedro CACHIN. Oh my god. It looks like we're going to go 3 sets. He didn't even go 3 sets versus Minaur. Listen, this is good though. I put some respect on Catchin's name. Catchin has become like a bit of a, I don't know, empty vessel for different people to make fun of. You know, just like a top pro in tennis. But he's a phenomenal player. And I know he's made a lot of his strides up the rankings by playing challengers and not by beating a whole lot of top players, but like top players. But this will be good for his kind of, I don't know, PR. Be good for his PR. You know what Pear and Benoit Pear was saying about him at the UTS chat, so the Ultimate Tennis Showdown. So come on, Rafa, break back, go away, umpire. Stop calling the balls out. Let's go. (4-1). Just Kachin is playing much better altogether. It feels like he's playing pretty loose. It feels like he's playing fairly loose, confident, not with much pressure. Because he doesn't. He has nothing to lose. Right? He's got nothing to lose. Playing Rafa on clay. Trying to give Rafa his 46th loss on a clay court at tour level. Which still seems rather unlikely, but he's definitely got the momentum at this point. Rafa's still not out of the set either, but it's looking like we could go 3 sets. Serve is better, by the way, in the set. Set 2, he's made 81% of his first serves in, and this is the stats on the serve. Very, very good. Faced 1 break point, saved it. Set number 1, these are the stats. I mean, it's night and day. 58% first serves in to 81%. Big switch there. Serve and volley as well. The net skills come into play here. Some of the net skills come into play as well. some net skills come into play. Forehand, the backhand volley. Backhand cross court. Backhand, the forehand of CACHIN down the line. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Backhand to Rafa. The backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. It's a drop shot. CACHIN gets under it. Oh, backhand Rafa. CACHIN. No way. Oh, he completely messes up a tweener. I don't know why CACHIN got there in no time. He didn't even have to hit a tweener there. That, you never know. The Rafa's still in the set. You never know if that might come back to bite him. But anyway, I mean, it was good speed from CACHIN anyway to even have a chance in that point. So kind of a weird bounce from Rafa on that shot. It looked like it was going to be well behind CACHIN. Yeah, it landed right on that service line and kind of bounced up, which made it for a very awkward shot. And CACHIN just waited way too long to hit that tweener. First serve in the net. Second serve could be an important point. Take two. Yeah, exactly. Forget that one. That one didn't count. Backhand cross court. Forehand, Rafa, the backhand to CACHIN. Backhand CACHIN again. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. The backhand to Rafa again, cross court. Squash shot is a good one from CACHIN. Forehand, inside in on that deuce side. Oh, that stays in. Another squash shot. What a lot of slices here. Backhand slice. Forehand Rafa. Oh, point of the match by about 5 multiples. And Rafa gets the win. WTA scoring. Yeah, exactly. 6-1, 4-1. I didn't even think about it, to be honest, Minaur. But yeah, it is like it's like WTA scoring. Two very opposite sets. Fly away, Peter. Brain's not working, Joe. What is that? What is that referring to? What's that referring to, Joe? Twitter documenting every Rafa move. Crazy. Yeah. Plays that. Double break point now. It's looking a little bit better. Backhand. Cross court. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand down the line. Backhand Rafa. Lob. Smash. Oh, he missed it too. Because he saw Rafa moving. Rafa is an intimidation factor on a clay court, even when you're hitting a smash. Because you never know. Maybe Rafa's going to be there. 4-2. 4-2. 4-2. Nadal with a break back. If CACHIN doesn't give Rafa the other break back too, he's going to be catching these hands from the from the Madrid crowd. That's why I don't watch Iga. Can't feel the excitement. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I used to feel that way a lot. Peter is English for Pedro. Okay, got you. So that's just me being unknowledgeable about how names are. I didn't even realize that. But that makes a lot of sense. Forehand, the backhand of CACHIN, backhand sliced. Forehand of CACHIN. Again, cross court. It's a good shot. Left 15. Yahoo. Yep. One break back. Yeah, I used to feel the same way about Świątek. I've gotten more. Now I feel so, but it was similar with Djokovic. I used to not like watching Djokovic, and I love watching Novak. So it felt similar to me. As a tennis player, it really impresses me watching both of them and their incredible athleticism, just what they can do to find ways to win points. Just kind of quietly find ways to win points. It's kind of amazing. And I think Iga's a little bit flashier than Novak even, too, in my opinion. So I like watching her, but I do get it. I definitely get it. Just my opinions on it. 15-all here with Rafa serving. The levels definitely dropped from the first set, which is a little bit of a cause for worry. I still definitely expect Rafa to win this match, but it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure he's playing at 100% intensity in the set. It'll be interesting to see how the set finishes off now that it's just one break as well. Backhand, cross court. It's in the net. The same way that Mary is English for Maria. So cute. Yeah, Maria is a great name. Maria, Elena, Vanessa. Those are all great names. Vanessa. It's Rafa with the serve, 30-15. By the way, serves unreturned is the crazy stat here. 8% for Rafa, 11% for CACHIN. That is so low. Forehand to Rafa, the backhand to CACHIN. That goes out. But the crazier stat is in the first set, where after the first set ended, it said that 100% of CACHIN's first serves, 100% of Rafa's first serves were returned by CACHIN. And Rafa won the set 6-1. 90% of CACHIN's first serves were returned. So, I mean, that is the highest I've ever seen across two players in a single set, if that is accurate by Tennis TV stats. Serve here, Rafa. Out wide, forehand CACHIN, hits it flat into the net, 4-3. Hits it flat into the net, 4-3 as CACHIN will go to serve. Come on, Rafa, don't take this to 3 anymore, okay? See how Rafa can do. I'm feeling the I'm feeling the desire, the will for Rafa, Lexi, to get him through. Let's see what he can do. He's gonna fight though. He already got one break back. The level's definitely dropped, but he can get it back. Just some poor shots, some poor errors, but I think he can get it back. The big questions are on CACHIN more than anything, I think. We want 3, Lexi. Yeah, I'm good either way. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here for the journey. I don't mind. I don't mind either way. I am curious to see what happens at the end of the set. I'll say that. Joe Boo. I will say, if Rafa does go 3 sets though, and he does get like a quarterfinal or semifinal run, the matches against Medvedev and potentially Sinner Alcaraz, or at least potentially Medvedev Sinner, for example, those could be much better matches than if he goes 3 sets, if he goes just 2 sets here. So rooting for 2 sets here could also partially be rooting for an epic, potentially, although seeing his level in this set and knowing he's playing a great player like Lehechka, could take on a great players like Bublik or Medvedev in the round after. You never know how far Nadal's going to go, but if we do get great matches like Medvedev and Sinner, the chances are we're going to get an even better match if he goes 2 sets here. So also thinking about that a little bit. Do you guys pre-cool your cars like 20 minutes before? Yeah, I mean, pre-warm in the UK. I've been known to preheat my car. Yeah, preheat is more often. I don't usually do that, but I know Philippines heat is ridiculous. The heat here is bad too, but not like the Philippines. So, I mean, just turn the AC on, you're good. 3-0 for Nadal. If you mean if he's going to win in straight sets, then I would still bet on Rafa winning in straight sets, to be honest. If I was to be a bettor right now, I would bet on Rafa in 2 sets, to be honest. But I'm not saying that's like a good whatever. Like, I'm not saying that's a very safe prediction, but that's, if I was betting, that's what I would do a bet on. It's a good drop shot from Rafa. One of his first few, he's hit a few drop shot errors, actually, which is not the most common shot to hit an unforced error. Serve here from CACHIN. First serve goes out, second serve. Served forehand to Rafa, backhand CACHIN, forehand to Rafa, backhand CACHIN down the line, backhand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. The backhand to Rafa. Sorry, forehand to Rafa now. Hits big into the backhand to CACHIN. Backhand to CACHIN. The forehand to Rafa. Backhand slice CACHIN. So many shots in this rally. Jesus Christ. Forehand down the line. How many shots was that? It was like 28 shots or something. That was a lot of shots. I felt like it lasted an eternity. I'm genuinely curious how many shots that was. CACHIN got tired by the end of it. You could tell with the slice. Okay, well, shown that Rafa's won 10 out of the last 11 points, which is a big stat, but I also want to know how many shots that was. Did not say how many shots that was. Why can't we have two stats on the screen? Like, if we're showing last 10 points, why can't we also have another stat? Like, we're pretending like people watching are stupid. Like, we can look at two things at once. It's not that big of a deal. Like, we just had a super long rally. Why can't we show that and another stat? Serve down the tee, forehand to Rafa. The back and a CACHIN. Cross court, forehand of Nadal. He's there, but it goes long. So 15-30. I mean, those in the heat wave counties, gosh, so hot. I don't think I can live here longer. If this heat wave continues, I'm gonna die. Yeah, Alexi, honestly, I hope you can. If it does stay bad, I hope you can find a way around it. Go somewhere else. Please come home before you suffocate. Yeah, exactly. They got stay safe. Never lived in a warmer country. I'm half dead from our Norwegian summers. I'm definitely trying to stay somewhere which isn't as hot as Atlanta. It's nothing like Philippines, which you're talking about, Lexi, but I definitely want to stay somewhere where it isn't pretty much hot all year. Sometimes I lie and call in sick at work so I don't have to report on site. Yeah, fair enough if it's that bad. Serve here from CACHIN at 15-30. CACHIN looks like Novak, by the way. Am I the only one who thinks CACHIN looks like Novak? Especially from a side angle. There's a real similarity there. Especially Novak from like 2011 or 2011 to 2015 era-ish. Forehand cross court. Rafa's there again. Backhand slice. Swing volley CACHIN. Forehand. Rafa's there again with a squash eye. Still so fast. Backhand Nadal. Backhand cross court. Rafa with a lob way up high. How is he still in this point? Smash. Oh, Rafa's there. No way. Oh, he missed it. That's not going to be good for Rafa, though. Rafa ran a marathon in that rally. But it's 30-all. It's the first time it's happened the tropical, but not this hot. Normal heat makes my nose bleed, but this one affect my eyes and nose and skin. That sounds horrible, Lexi. That really sounds horrible. Normally work at home, but I don't know why my boss keeps requesting me go on site. What an asker. Yeah, for sure. No, I feel bad for you, Lexi. That's tough. Find a way to move somewhere else because that does not sound like good conditions if you can, or at least find a way around it. Get away from that blistering heat. Forehand of CACHIN, forehand of Rafa. That goes out, so 40-30 for CACHIN. So I'm glad we can work from home. I can sit at home in my underwear and still do my job. Yeah, that's the best. You can work from home. Why demand otherwise? Makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. 40-30 here for CACHIN. 40-30 here for CACHIN, trying to get to 5-3. By the way, unforced errors in the set, 10 for Rafa. Sorry, or wait. It's a confusing stat to look at, the way they were writing it. 5-3 for CACHIN. But I can look at my on my website here, which says the stats. Tennis24.com. Here we go. Winners to errors. 22 winners, 13 errors, 18 winners, 10 unforced. I don't know if that's being a bit kind, but let me see. Set 2. Sometimes winners to error stats are a little bit weird on here, but here's what it's written. 9 winners, 7 unforced, 10 winners, 3 unforced for CACHIN. CACHIN's definitely played a solid set. It's not usually going to be hitting a whole lot of unforced errors anyway. Backhand into forehand of Rafa. Cross court. The backhand to CACHIN, forehand Rafa. Down line, forehand to CACHIN. Backhand cross court. Forehand to CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Backhand cross court. Forehand Rafa. Backhand drop shot. Oh, it's so good. It's like Alcaraz-esque, like Mirajan-esque, right in front of the net. So love 15. CACHIN is catching fire. CACHIN is catching fire. Forehand of CACHIN. Backhand down the line, the backhand of CACHIN. That goes out. $15 all. 15-15. Hour and 37 minutes played. Serve, forehand of CACHIN. Back into Rafa. Cross court, the forehand of CACHIN down the line. Goes wide though. 30-15 for the Spaniard. Come on, Rafa, get this done. I need to shower and go to bed. Come on, Rafa. It's going to be that 4-5 game, Zara. It's going to be that 4-5 game. Can he step up? The level is very different from what it was in the first set. CACHIN, go away. Lexi, I love the. Is it a nickname or what? I love you calling him CACHIN. It's rather close. First serve in the net from Rafa. Forehand of CACHIN. Back in Rafa. That's poor in the net. He might kind of throw. I don't know. Is he going to kind of give this set away? Very poor backhand. I know you call it tin foil, well, we call it aluminum foil. Yeah, aluminum. It's everybody else. It's aluminum foil. I guess that's a spelling, but yeah. What do you call cling film in the U.S., Anthony? I've totally forgotten. That's plastic wrap? Is it? I think plastic wrap. If I know what you're talking about. Backing down the line, the back into Rafa. Forehand, that goes out. Vamos from Rafa, 40-30. Do you pronounce it as CACHIN or CACHIN? I say CACHIN. I say CACHIN with a C. CACHIN. I won't lie though. I kind of like I think I've said it with the S a couple times, but I'm trying to say CACHIN. CACHIN. Yes, plastic wrap. Okay. I think I know that solely through like UK shows. Somehow I remember what you're talking about. I've seen my fair share of different British shows, whether it's like Broadchurch or Doctor Who or Sherlock or whatever it is. I mean, so many other ones too. Serve from Rafa. Backhand cross court. Backhand of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Backhand CACHIN. Forehand to backhand. Backhand CACHIN. That goes out. So it's Nadal on the board. He gets the 4-5. I call them Glad Wrap. Okay. Interesting. We used to call them by the brand name Saran Wrap. Yeah, I've seen that before too. And what's up, S-One? Yeah, I've seen Saran Wrap. Aluminium. Okay. It sounds cooler. I'm not disagreeing. I think it should be aluminum. I think, I don't disagree with all the changes. I think we should put the letter U in words that it doesn't belong in, like colors. I don't know why we're making words longer, but I like it. I like seeing it like that. Favorites should have a U in it, Why not? Why not? Yes, brand names are easier, like Colgate or Coke. Yeah, exactly. Aluminum. Both UK and US have regional differences. Yeah, exactly. Also comes with accents and all of that kind of stuff. The way they just kind of translate transliterations and transliteration just through words and how they sound, but like the way they translate through time, it changes. The worst is Advil. Yeah. Worst is Tylenol. Yeah, Advil, I can't have Advil. Advil makes my stomach feel not well. I don't know. Andreeva, by the way, did finish off Paolini in straight sets. Swiatek won earlier today at 6-0, 6-1 against Sorribes Tormo. Sorribes Tormo always plays long matches. I'm wondering how long that one was. even though it was that scoreline. An hour and 8 minutes. I'd say that's pretty long for 6-1, 6-0. It's not an hour and a half or whatever. It's not anything that special, but usually I would say Swiatek winning 6-1, 6-0 would be like 45 minutes. Madsen Keys, by the way, wow, with the first set over Coco Gauff. Kind of hoping Coco. I hope Coco can find a way to fight back there. In the US, it's Tylenol or acetaminophen, but UK, it's paracetamol. Yeah, that is confusing. I like the brand. The brand names are easier than the like generic or whatever. That goes out. So 15 love. Wow, the kid's on fire. Yeah, true. Mira Andreeva is into the quarterfinals. She's one to watch. She could win a major at some point. I don't know when, but I'm just saying. I'll be that guy. I'm just saying the potential is there. Backhand, up high, the forehand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. The backhand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa again. The backhand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN again, cross court, forehand down the line, forehand to CACHIN. Forehand cross court, backhand, forehand again to the backhand. It goes out, 15 all. 15 all. Vamos, Rafa. See, like 29. CACHIN is 29, yeah. CACHIN is 29, yep. CACHIN is 3 points away from taking a set off Rafa. Taking a set off Rafa on clay is no easy task either. I mean, at this point, you'd argue it's a little bit different, but Rafa at Roland Garros, and what I think is one of the most underrated stats of Rafa's kind of clay dominance, and also just in tennis, period. I'll say it after this point. Backhand, down the line from CACHIN is so good. He's got some skills, CACHIN, I'll be honest. It's a jumping backhand there, kind of got some good height over the net and good elevation over the net. Got up to the ball well. Great backhand down the line. Some respect on CACHIN's name, especially if he can take a set off Rafa here, right after he beat the world number 11, who's in good form in the way that he did. Forehand, that's short. Oh, forehand CACHIN is it right back to Rafa. It's a great backhand. CACHIN had the down the line open. Nadal with a really good backhand down the line, though, so we're at 30 all. CACHIN, absolutely. CACHIN's 29 already, yeah. Yeah, CACHIN's 29, almost 30. I didn't know you were referring to CACHIN Lexi, yeah, because he's almost in his 30s. Like I only buy paracetamol and ibuprofen both in the Philippines and Norway. Yeah, I usually get the Tylenol if I get one of them. Although they can work for different things as well. Serve here from CACHIN. 2 points away from the set. Big point. Big point. That's a double fault. It is a big point, and that's why a double fault came. Has CACHIN even hit a double fault in the match so far? I don't recall him hitting a single double fault. Match stats, 1 double fault. I don't know if that was the one he just hit just now. It probably was. I'm just not sure if it's updated yet, but I think that was his first double fault of the whole match. Hour and 47 minutes in. It's Rafa at 30-40. Trying to climb back in the set from down a double break. Forehand. Cross court. Back and Rafa down the line. Is a great shot. Oh, even better volley. What a shot from CACHIN. Because that could have been tough. Rafa with great precision down the line. But it didn't matter. A strong right hand there as he hit it down the line, but it didn't matter because CACHIN was there. We're back to deuce. 2 points away is CACHIN. Forehand CACHIN. That's a great down the line shot. I mean, CACHIN, he's earned his way to set point. Nadal's level's dropped. CACHIN's level has risen. And CACHIN's played a good set. He deserves some kind of credit for the level he's playing the set. Because he's played solid. Especially the difference of what he played in the first set and the second set. Like the first set, this has been night and day from how he played in the first set. Absolutely night and day. So just for that, he deserves credit for something. And he's at that point. Let's see if he can put it away. Second serve from CACHIN. Kick serve for Rafa. It's rather short. Forehand CACHIN misses it though. He misses it though. Pressure is palpable, exactly. That's why that forehand goes out. Hey, what's up? Good Jay, Nadal. Yep. Casper. Call me in. Yep. What are you doing? Casper's playing the finals. Yahoo. Wait, Casper's playing the finals. What do you mean? What do you mean, Lexi? Casper's going to be playing later today, though. Rafa, come on. Call me in, Rafa. No mercy. Forehand cross court, backhand sliced. Catching with a smash. Put it away down the line. Didn't hit it right back to Rafa. That's what you want. Call me in, Rafa. Absolutely. I love it. I love the call me ins. Hell yeah. Ring it on. We got so many. I think everything sounds cooler than like come on or let's go. Like those in English, those are lame. It sounds cooler in other languages. Call me in, Forza, Vamos. Those sound cooler. Serve, CACHIN, that goes out. He was at 80+% first serves in the set, but they're not going to be 80% first serves in on when he has that point. Rafa forehand, down the middle, CACHIN. The back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Oh, he just missed it, did he? He just missed it. It was close. Jazda. Yeah, Jazda's good too. Idemo. Yeah, bring it on. Minaur, welcome back. Idemo, Rafa. That's not something you'll see often. Take no prisoner. Come on. Take no prisoner. Go for the kill. He's 2 points away from a break, but he's also 2 points away from losing the set. It's very unclear what's going to happen. Very unclear at the moment. How does Rafa show up in these 2 points? I think it's pronounced Yazda. Oh, I think you're right, actually. I think it is. Yep. Yazda. It is. I remember right now Ika's saying it that way. Yazda. Backhand. The backhand of CACHIN hits the tape and goes wide. Palme Rafa. Advantage. Definitely said some of those wrong. Idemo. Haha, no heck, is that you? We're going through all the languages. How'd beat Nadal, wait till he can't walk and hope you don't choke. Yep. Exactly. But that being said, I mean, he's played a solid set. Rafa hasn't really been there. But let's see what he can do at the end here. I've been impressed, though. I'm not going to lie. I've been impressed with CACHIN in the set. Just for him as a player. I'm not saying as a player that can generally beat Rafa. At this level, he's not generally going to beat Rafa. But his level has been much better than what I've expected from him. He's changed up his game. He's gotten more first serves in. He's had better control in these rallies, less unforced errors. He's added some more variety into his game, some skillful shots. It's been rather good. There's another one. Nah, it's in the net, though, with the drop shot. So it's advantage for Rafa. Why do I? Yala, Rafa. Lexi, I don't know how to say that one. Iosio Habwayo? Don't know. Is that Japanese? Halika no Rafa. I love this. I love it. It's like asking Rafa to eat with you. Yeah. That's funny. It's in the net, so 5-5. 5-5, it's a double fault. It's a double fault, and Rafa climbs back from a double breakdown. You never can count this guy out. Back to 5-5, even in the set. What did I say at 4-3? I said if I was betting, I would bet on Rafa to win in straight sets. So 5-5. Set 2 has already been an hour and 5 minutes. Wow. Hour and 5 minute set. We're at 5-5. Yalla, great win from Ons today. Yup. Ons with the victory. She's back in good form. She likes the clay. She likes the natural surfaces. Korean Anthony. Okay, got you. Got it. I'm saying a lot of different languages. Komietsi. Let's see how Rafa can do at the end, Mr. Worldwide Rafa. That's Pitbull. Dios mío, CACHIN. CACHIN with some double faults, not when he needed them, and some bad errors. His first set point was an early forehand error. Not good. This has been a very long second set. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand of CACHIN, the forehand to Rafa. Forehand Rafa again, the backhand of CACHIN. That's a shank from Rafa. It stays in though. Backhand of Rafa again. Crowd audibly gasps as Rafa hits a very shanked backhand. Kadima. Anthony, do you know what we're chatting? No, I've totally lost it now. I've lost the conversation now. I thought we were doing let's go and come on in different languages. But now I've totally lost the plot. I know there were some that were said that were not let's goes and come ons. But yeah, no, I've totally lost the conversation, Lexi, in the chat. Now it's just gibberish to me. Davai in Russian, by the way. Davai is come on in Russian. Is Kachina really Japanese? Kachichoka. All right, here we go. Love 15 for Kachin. Let's see what happens at the end of the second set. Serve from Rafa. Forehand. Forehand to Kachin down the line. Back into Rafa. That's in the net. So 15, love 30. He got the double breaks back, but he's looking to give another one back here. This is tough. Oh, what a shot from Kachin. Catches the net on its way, but a great forehand there. He does give an apology. Yeah, it did hit the net cord, which made it very tough for Rafa to volley, though. Good forehand, but definitely luck involved with Rafa not returning that one. Triple break point for Kachin now. I mean, this has been an absolute roller coaster. Serve Rafa. Out wide, back into Kachin. Vamos from Rafa. Big vamos. Ja. That's the one I know. I know that one. Ja. 1540. And already an hour, 9 minute second set. And we still could go to a tiebreaker here. We're at 5-5. Backhand, the forehand to Rafa. Forehand to Kachin, very soft. The forehand to Rafa. Oh, it's the tape goes out. So we're at 6-5. 6-5, and we've played 110 minutes. So about 10 minutes per every game so far on average. Very long set. Kachin needs Nadal to retire so he can win the French Open. Yeah. Exactly. That's funny. That's funny. Yeehaw, Rafa. Yeah. Like I said, I know you'll be disappointed by that one. With Kachin now up 6-5. Kachin still looking to push us to a third set. All right, 6-5 for Kachin as he's going to serve for the set. Imagine this at 5-set format. Five different sets that go to an hour and 25 minutes would be crazy. That's what this is going to be if we go to a tiebreaker. Backhand Rafa, forehand, drop shot. Rafa runs. Oh, that's a great shot from Rafa. Flick of the wrist. Love 15. Of course not Anthony. I will never get disappointed with Rafa. He'll always be the one player I won't feel negative about. Fair enough. Just supporting him no matter what. I like it though. It's definitely how I felt with Roger back in the day. I'll still feel disappointed with like a Yannick or something. Quite consistently, because Yannick can make things difficult for himself. But jokes aside, when I used to support Roger a lot. Oh, wow, that is an exquisite forehand from Rafa. Really putting his all into not making this go 3 sets, which is really good for him in the grand scheme of things. Because he's got a great draw. I mean, he's got a great draw even all the way to the semis, in my opinion. But at least to the quarterfinals with Lehechka in the next round, which is going to be tough. But I think that he will feel confident even in that matchup. So he's going to put his all into making this go short so he has the legs in those matches as well. He's being a little bit more aggressive here because he sees Kachin's doing pretty well in these rallies, and he's finding ways to finish off the points. Rafa might want to start trying to hit more winners and going for it. Forehand Rafa, cross court, back into Kachin. Forehand Rafa, down the line's a great shot. There we go. Rafa a little bit more aggressive and on top of the ball with that forehand, and it's love 40. And it is love 40. Yeah, when I used to watch Roger back in the day, I never really got disappointed or upset at him. I was just upset at some situations happening, but never really truly disappointed. Never, ever, ever count Rafa out. Nope. Menzik retired. Is he okay? I see Menzik retired, and I'm like, Jesus, the guy's like 16. He's already done with the career. Backhand. Rafa gets it. Backhand flick. Rafa's there, though. Forehand flick, cross court. What a point. Backhand slice. Rafa's there at the backhand. Kachin's there. This is like a grass court rally. Rafa wins it. Rafa wins it as if they're playing cat and mouse on a grass court at the net. And it's 6-6. 5-hour-long second set. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the score and the tiebreaker. Whoever gets the closest, I will shout you out in the chat. When we did Sabalenka Montgomery yesterday, KC got it exactly right, I believe, in the chat. Or was it Joe? My memory is so bad. So it was 7-5 in the chat for Montgomery, so that was a great call. But I'm gonna go 7-2 Rafa, 22-20 Kachin. KC, okay. I thought it was KC. Okay. I didn't want to. If it was you, Joe, I didn't want to give the credit, but yeah, I thought it was KC. Realistic 7-4 Kachin. Really? Wow, Kachin with the win. I think Rafa's got the momentum. 7-4 Rafa. It's got to be Rafa. I'm going 7-2. Joe's on worldwide tour cheering for Rafa. Yeah, I love it. Forehand, cross court, back into Rafa, down the line. That goes out from Rafa, though, so 1-0 for Kachin. Forehand of Kachin into forehand of Rafa. Back in Kachin. It's a big rally to start off this tiebreak. At 1-0. Forehand, cross court, the back of Rafa. Goes big, cross court. It's 2-0 for Kachin. Maybe my gut was a little bit off. If I'm right, then Rafa wins 7 consecutive. Let's see what other predictions we got. I just want you to suffer. Jesus Christ. CACHIN 7-4. I'm going for the more realistic guess, 7-0 Rafa. Okay. Lexi, a little bit late for that, is it? 2-0 for CACHIN. Serve here from CACHIN. First serve is a let. First serve coming. Serve out wide, back into Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Back in Rafa again. The back end of CACHIN, forehand Rafa. Back into CACHIN, forehand Rafa again. Going back in forehand. Forehand, the forehand of Rafa. Back into CACHIN, the backhand slice of Rafa. Forehand, back to the backhand. That's in the net. 3-0 for CACHIN. It's looking like we're going to go 3 sets. Rafa, Rafa, Rafa. (3-0) here for CACHIN. Already starting off the tiebreaker strong. It's not what I expected after the end of the set. After the way the set was going. Serve here from Nadal. Backhand cross court. That goes out. So 3-1. What the actual? Yeah. Not what I expected after how it was going. Come on, Rafa. Let's put an end to Mr. CACHIN's mystery. Not give him hope. I love it. Don't do that. Don't give me hope. Rafa is keeping the comeback trails alive. Down a double break, then down a break. This has been the ultimate roller coaster set. We're an hour and 19 minutes in. Been the ultimate roller coaster set. Expect the unexpected. I want to say 7-2 CACHIN. Maybe I should have. That's crazy, actually, Minaur. I said 7-2 Rafa, but that's definitely not going to happen. Serve. Forehand to CACHIN. It's on the baseline. Backhand short from Rafa. Backhand CACHIN. He's dictating. Forehand CACHIN. Again to that deuce side. Forehand again. To that deuce side. That's the lob way up high. Forehand again. Going at that backhand. Backhand down the line. The backhand to CACHIN. He's a cross court. Great shot to the forehand. Squash shot. CACHIN has played a really good set. Let's be honest. I mean, he's not done that well in the mental department to keep the leads and take his chances. He's already wasted set points. But wow, after a 6-1 one-sided set to Rafa, we've had the most roller coaster set. And now it's CACHIN with a double mini break. Of course, Rafa will catch up. I think the puns are getting stale, Lex. I think the puns are getting stale. No, I love it. Keep it going, though. Keep it going. Hour and 20 minutes. Second set by itself. First set was 47 minutes. Already almost double the length of the, or not quite that, but not that far off, double the length of the first set. Forehand, the backhand of CACHIN, forehand Rafa. That's a great shot from Rafa. One back. One back for Nadal. 4-2. 4-2. Okay, come back. Rafa making things exciting. This has been the ultimate roller coaster set. He's got one more mini break to fight all the way back, though. And Nadal gets it back. Let's catch in just too many kind of unforced here. Rafa catching too many unforced here in the big moments. That's another one back. Call me in Dutch is hop, I think. Hop, I love it. That is cute, yeah. Hop, hop. Rafa, let's go. Third set is not what Rafa needs, I think. That's why he's trying so hard. I don't know why he's blinking, though, when he's getting back on even terms. Serve Rafa. The back and a catch-in. Smash Rafa, put away. 4-4. No playing around anymore. This is a crazy set of tennis. Hour and 23 minutes. It's not quite to Mote and Sheng levels earlier in the tournament. They played over an hour and 40-minute long set. But it is one of the longer sets that you'll see. I told him to finish all matches in 2. Good advice, Lexi. Exactly. Lexi, you got to coach. You got to coach Rafa. 3 points, CACHIN. All right, well, let's see. See how Rafa does at the end here. Serve. Down T is a good serve. Well placed. Forehand. Way up high. Back into CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Down the middle. Forehand to CACHIN. Back into Rafa. That goes long, though. He keeps getting to even terms and then losing it. Whatever you think is going to happen in the set, the opposite happens. Whatever you think is going to happen in the set, the opposite happens. So I reckon Rafa gets the 6-5. Serves it out and then CACHIN makes it 6-6. Because that's the exact opposite of what I think is going to happen. Here we go. CACHIN serving at 5-4. Do you think they like to play Rafa? Genuinely, no. I think Rafa's a nightmare to play on clay. I think Rafa's a nightmare to play on clay. I mean, you got to enjoy it, but I mean, it's got to be an absolute nightmare. It's not even like Roger on grass where he's like, I don't know. There's something about Rafa on clay and just killing you slowly, not having any way of getting past his walls. Backhand, that's out, so it is 5-5. A roller coaster of roller coasters. You'd find this one at Six Flags with a long line. A crazy roller coaster. 2 hours and 12-minute long match, but the second set has been nearly all of that. Hour and 25 minutes. And Nadal's come back from 3 breaks down in the set. Double break and another break later. And he's come back from a million mini breaks down in this tiebreaker. CACHIN's also had set points. We're now all tied up at 5-5. Second serve coming. Come on, Rafa. Let's finish this. Yep. So we can continue to make our fans happy. Let's see what we can do. Forehand CACHIN. Back into Rafa. Forehand CACHIN. Back to Rafa. He's got to step in here. Forehand Rafa. The forehand CACHIN. Backhand slice of Rafa. Forehand CACHIN. That's a great cross-court forehand. Whatever you think is going to happen, the opposite happens. CACHIN gets the point now. There's no momentum for either of these guys. But it also shows that Rafa's mental game, not having played for a long time, is not quite where it needs to be at the moment. He'll get there if he keeps playing, but knowing how much of a mental warrior he is, honestly. How good of a mental game he has. Just showing how hard it is to actually win a set against Rafa. Exactly. Oh, I was going to say, I forgot to say earlier. Rafa, perfect timing though. Another set point for CACHIN. One of the most underrated stats for Rafa is he's lost only 34 sets at Roland Garros. His record is 333 sets won, 34 sets lost. 34 sets over like 20 years playing. Unbelievable. Oh, backhand pass from CACHIN. And the Spanish crowd goes mild. The Spanish crowd goes mild as Rafa's taken to a third set. CACHIN gets it at the end. What a set of tennis. Hour and 27 minutes. And the Spanish crowd goes absolutely mild as we await the third set. But the set is over. Wow. CACHIN gets the third set pass. Wow, what a pass on set point. I'll be honest, CACHIN played a great set. Game-wise, he played incredible. Obviously, mentally, a lot of the time he folded from when he was having chances. But, you know, set point, backhand pass at the end of it all. Solid. Overall, 18 winners, 17 unforced. 12 winners, Rafa, 15 unforced. Gorgeous strike. Incredible passing shot there. Great shot from CACHIN. He played an incredible set of tennis. I said it. He improved a lot on his first serve percentage. He started coming to net more, as well did CACHIN. In the set as well, Rafa won 32. They played 63 baseline points, did the two of them, between the two of them. They played 63 baseline points. And Rafa won 32, CACHIN won 31. That is very close, much closer than it was. CACHIN made a little bit more of his first serves in, made 60% first serves in. It did drop as the set went on. Still wasn't doing great on serve, but neither was Rafa, to be fair. So 7 out of 9 at net. Rafa should come forward more, ironically, considering set point. Yeah, he probably should. He probably should. Especially because, listen, CACHIN was showing some skills of being able to finish off the points a little bit better. And have some more skills and a little bit more aggression. 6-0 Peter? I don't think so. But I think Vega will be the ultimate WTA scoring. Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. 1-6-7-6-6-0. No, I mean, we'll see how Rafa's health is. If his health is there, Rafa's still the favorite to take this third set. But let's see. Time for a bagel, Rafa. It's okay. You can do this. What are you doing? See what happens in this third. All right, I'll be right back for this third set. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, sorry, my mic was muted there. Good question, Minaur. I don't know if anyone has bageled Rafa on clay. But, okay, we're back with the third set here. Drop shot from CACHIN. So it's 15 love here. Roger was bageled on, well, he's bageled on clay. So Roger lost 2 bagels in the whole open era. It's probably harder to bagel Roger because he has such an incredible serve. So it's almost hard to imagine that he's not going to hold at least once. But he's been bageled twice in the 21st century. The whole 21st century, Roger was bageled on 2 different occasions. He was bageled by Rafa the French Open final in 2008, and he was also bageled by Hurkacz in his retirement match. Those are the only 2 bagels he lost in that whole century. When he was really the player that he was. That goes out from CACHIN, so 15-all. This is a mammoth task for CACHIN, but listen, nobody can ever talk bad on CACHIN's name if he pulls something out here. Already, he's earned a lot of respect from myself as well. Hey, Minaur, member for 6 months. Shout out all of the members. You can always click the join button to join all of the members, earn perks. Shout out to all of the members. Don't Google Wet Koala and thank me. 208 days. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is a very sad situation that is still going on, if I know what you're referring to. Serve the backhand of Rafa, backhand of CACHIN. Forehand of Rafa, backhand of CACHIN. Backhand, that goes out. Yeah. All the words going on are very, very, very sad. Just all across the board. Not much more to say than that. He just came back from shoulder injury. Who has Felix got next? Menzek injured again. Yeah, hopefully Menzek stays healthy, but sometimes it's these early, like these younger guys that haven't really developed their physicality yet that can kind of struggle. Well, for Pedro guys in the polls. Let's see what CACHIN can do. Who has Felix got next? Yeah, let me see. Let me check the draw. Noria Rude up a set. Yeah, I'm definitely going for Casper. I think Casper is a big issue here. I picked Casper to reach the final at this tournament, so I don't think Casper is one to reckon with. His fitness is so good, too. We've seen him perform really well 3 weeks in a row before. And he hasn't had as many long matches as like Tsitsipas had, for example, in Barcelona and Monte Carlo. So I reckon Rude is going to be a big problem here. Also, Tsitsipas had like the mental thing of the fact that he won Monte Carlo and then having to play right back in Barcelona and then having to play Madrid. Rude lost in Monte Carlo. It wasn't as big of a kind of mental stamina thing of keeping it up. I think that Rude is going to be really determined in Madrid. I think he's going to be a big factor here. I think he's going to be a really big factor. Forehand, cross court, the backhand, drop shot of CACHIN. That's in the net, though. Break point coming for Rafa. From what I've seen, Cam playing well, but Rude at altitude is pretty good. Even the conditions overall aren't his best. Yeah, I agree. It's not his best conditions, but I don't think it's that bad for him. There's give and takes there. Yeah, I took a break for a minute. I'm back now. Are we in danger of cute Aussie animals? That might be more so what it was. But yeah, I didn't know what you're referring to either. We'll check Casper again. Rafa, when I come, make sure the score is 6-0. Okay. Let's see. Is that break point? Backhand, the backhand of CACHIN. Forehand, cross court, the backhand of CACHIN. The forehand of Rafa. Oh, what a forehand shot. Reminds you of the old Rafa. And really, I don't like the term old Rafa. What does that even mean? You know? It's just Rafa. Old Rafa, new Rafa is just Rafa. It's the same dude. It's the same forehand. I mean, the first question when he beat Minaur was like, is the old Rafa back? I mean, Nadal was probably like, like, sheesh, I'm just Rafa. It's like, what do you mean old Rafa? That's me. I'm Rafa. There's no old Rafa, no new Rafa. I understand the implications and why we do that, and why maybe why it's worth it to differentiate to say that he's not at the level that he was, or maybe that his health is more of a factor. I get that, but I'm just saying it's the same Rafa. It's the same guy. It's still good to see him playing and hitting some great shots. It just starts being a little bit weird. Bottom of the draw wins. Well, I think Alcaraz is surely a big prospect to win the event. So we'll see what happens. I like that take though. But I mean, I wouldn't completely discount Ruud or Sinner either from winning the tournament, honestly. Or Rafa, you never know. But Alcaraz seems like a huge favorite. I mean, I'm not even going to say bottom half. I'm honestly just going to say Carlos. Carlos seems like a big favorite. Hour and 27-minute long second set. Very unexpected. It was a roller coaster throughout. It felt like the last thing that you're expecting to happen happens, like throughout that whole set. To me, at least. Backhand, the forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. It's a good shot. 30 love. 30 love for Rafa, really stepping it up. Forehand to the forehand of Rafa, backhand CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Again, cross court. Oh, just out from CACHIN there, so 40 love. 1-0, 40 love. $40 love for Rafa here. Looking a little bit more like himself. Start out the set. Forehand chip, forehand Rafa. Big inside out forehand to CACHIN. Down the line, but Rafa thinks it's out. And it is out. It's called out. Hey, what's up, Trambini? Hello, hello. What's up, my man? Tony, what's up? Can you make your face bigger? Hopefully I'm showing up okay. How's it going, man? How are you doing? Are you watching Madrid as well? This match has been pretty crazy so far. But good to have you in the chat here. Spanish bagel's going in the oven. We'll see. It could be a bagel. Rafa's level definitely dropped in the second set, but CACHIN's definitely went up. And now it seems like Rafa's back at a good level. But either way, I mean, the fact that CACHIN's taken a set off Rafa is definitely going to switch the conversation a little bit around him. A little bit. Yes, watching it. Nice. Just came home. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been a pretty good match so far. I mean, Nadal was completely outplaying CACHIN in the first set, but second set was way more tight. Literally an hour and a half. One of the longer sets probably of the tournament. Forehand Rafa, the backhand of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa, backhand of CACHIN down the line. Backhand of Rafa sliced. Forehand of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Forehand of CACHIN. Backhand Rafa drop shot. CACHIN again with this kind of backhand flick shot. Smash, Rafa gets over. Well, that's a great smash from Rafa. He's still got that athleticism. Yeah, shout out Shrambini in the chat. Shrambini joining in. Shrambini in the house. For anybody who didn't see it, me and Shrambini had a chat on my YouTube channel. We did together on Anthony's Tennis Hub, which is my YouTube channel. Me and Shrambini did a chat talking about different stuff at the start of the clay swing and also other stuff, so you can check that out if you want to. That was a lot of fun. Yo. Shrambini, who you got winning? I think I maybe asked you when we had the chat, but I don't remember if you said specifically who you thought was going to win Madrid. But what are your thoughts on Rafa's comeback now that he's beaten Minaur? How far do you think he can go? Rafa's draw has opened up. He's got Lehechka in the next round. Then he's potentially got Medvedev. By the way, what's going on here? CACHIN switching out his shoes, I think. But I reckon Rafa's on a mission. I reckon Rafa gets to the semis. I think Rafa gets to the semis and loses to Jannik. At this point, that's my gut feeling. Rafa Medvedev could be interesting, but we'll see. What is Medvedev and Bublik's head-to-head? Because I'm curious, because Rafa's going to play the winner of those two. So I wonder, what is their record? What's the chances of Bublik getting the win? Okay, Medvedev is 5-0 up on Bublik. In fact, he's only ever lost one set to Bublik. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign for Medvedev. So yeah, Medvedev's got that one in the bank, probably, although it is on clay courts. But Medvedev's also beaten Bublik in straight sets on clay. So at Roland Garros. So yeah, that's definitely, it seems like Medvedev's the big favorite. But I like Rafa's chances against Medvedev on a clay. Rafa will play semis, agreed, nice. Yeah, his draw is so good. Lehechka and then Medvedev, you kind of like that for him. Especially in these kind of high altitude conditions playing Medvedev, where it's so high bounce. It's going to be tough for Medi. I mean, we saw the video of him in practice where he's just over his shoulder hitting the shots because he's making fun of how high bounce the courts are in Madrid. He doesn't like that very much, does he? How do you check how many break games one Ruud has? So if you go to Asukia, if you go to tennis24.com, there's a website called tennis24.com. There are probably others as well, but tennis24.com, and then if you just click on the Ruud match, Casper Ruud's match, just click on that, and then if you click on, there should be a button that says stats like this. And then if you scroll down, you should be able to see a breakpoints one. So that's how you do. That's one way that you can do that for a match in real time. All right, 1540. It feels like Rafa's going to run away with us here at 0-2. I mean, catching serve has not been that big of a weapon throughout this match. That's for sure. And that's another first serve in the net. First serve percentage has fallen off just like it was in the first set. Second set, it got better for a little bit. Forehand to CACHIN, cross court, the backhand slice of Rafa. Back into CACHIN, cross court, the forehand to Rafa. Backhand down the line, back into Rafa. Cross court, that goes out. So 30-40. If we do get Sinner Rafa, I was saying in the last stream, that could be a really great matchup. Rafa does not like playing guys that hit that flat and hard that much. So I think that could be a real test for Rafa. But it would be a great match because Rafa's very comfortable on clay, you know. But Sinner, so far it's his worst surface. He's still very good on clay. But he's still getting used to the surface and adapting his best game to it. Forehand's a drop shot from CACHIN. Backhand slice. That goes out. So, wow. Another one gone. So, now we're at deuce suddenly. Now we're at deuce suddenly. I've got a question for the chat though. I've got a question for the chat after this point. Which I think is a good one, actually. I think it's a good one. Hopefully a good one. Backhand goes out. Advantage to CACHIN. If you could pick one match for Rafa to play against in any round, any player, any tournament, what would be your choice of match before he puts down the racket? So it could be against Djokovic in the final of the Olympics. It could be Djokovic in the final of Wimbledon or Roland Garros. It could be against Sinner. It could be against Alcaraz. It could be against a whole nother player. CACHIN, by the way, with an ace down the tee, so he gets to 2-1. But let me know in the chat what that would be. For me, I would probably honestly go with Nadal Alcaraz in the final of the Olympics. I can't think of a better one than that. Nadal versus Alcaraz in the final of the Olympics. I struggle to think of a better one than that. Nadal Djokovic would be amazing too. I would love to see it also outside of a clay court, even though I know that Rafa's best chance is very likely on a clay court. But those are a few that I would mention for myself. Labor Cup dubs with Roger. That'd be awesome. We got to get it. Imagine Roger stepping out on court and being like, "Hey, let's have one last one." That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. The last one was kind of sad. I mean, they had match points and they lost it. That would be poetic. That would be poetic. But then what does Djokovic have? What does Djokovic do for his retirement? He's got to do a whole nother thing. Roger comes back to play with Rafa for his retirement. And then Djokovic comes back to play with Rafa comes back to play with Djokovic for his retirement. And then we call it a day. And then Murray retires after he wins Wimbledon. No, Murray retires after a run at Wimbledon at some point. Hopefully wins a couple of rounds there. Doesn't lose in the first round. But he'll retire at Wimbledon. Feels quite likely. Probably this year, to be honest. Although Murray, he could also retire at Roland Garros Olympics, kind of playing for his country. Hopefully he gets healthy and is able to play another match, which I'm a little bit worried about, to be honest. Alcaraz at RG, okay. Alcaraz at RG, I'm assuming the final then. That would be incredible. Novak, Rafa, hands down. I don't care who wins. I just want to see them. Just want Rafa to be Joker one last time. Can we handle that amount of tears? Speaking for myself, yes. I would love to see it. Speaking for myself, I want to see it so much. Very good point. I'm changing my vote to match yours. Yeah, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. And listen, they'd be all tied up 30-30 if Rafa could beat Novak. They'd be tied up 30-30. 30 all. That's a forehand in the net from Rafa, so it's left 15. I want to see Del Potro come back too, you know? What a sad last match against Del Bonis. I'd love to see. I just don't think it's in the cards now. Did Del Potro officially retire? I'm not sure exactly what is happening with that. I think he kind of did, right? After he wasn't able to play the US Open last year. I keep seeing him in like inactive players, but I think he's like just retired more than anything, which is sad. I would love to see him back because, man, he was a hell of a player. That goes out. So love 30. Rafa with a few errors, making things interesting for better or worse. Making things interesting for better or worse. This has been a roller coaster match. Almost 3 hours played. We're nearing on 3 hours. Love 30. Backhand. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. The backhand to CACHIN. Backhand to Rafa. The backhand to CACHIN. Cross court. Forehand to Rafa. Down the line. Forehand to CACHIN. Gets there. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. That's in the net. 15-30. 15-30. Rafa Roger doubles. That Labor Cup had me in floods. Yeah. No, it was very, very emotional. Like on Tennis Channel or whatever, I don't think they showed the part right after he retired. Not all of it. Not the Ellie Goulding part of it, where he was walking around shaking hands with everybody. When I watched that on repeat, that got me. So, that got me. Yeah, it was a very emotional retirement. Obviously, it would have been better if it didn't feel like he was forced into it, but It was perfect for what it was, for what it had to be. Last singles match at Wimbledon. Not an ideal one, but it was at Wimbledon. But last match, that's ATP sanctioned, I guess, at Laver Cup. Forehand, the backhand of Rafa, forehand to CACHIN, forehand to Rafa. Just CACHIN doing much better with just finding ways to be aggressive, honestly. Just be a little bit more aggressive and find ways to finish off points, coming to net a little bit more, and using a little bit more skills, some backhand flicks, coming to net, swing volleys, jumping volleys, like whatever it is. Like, he's just finding different ways to put himself in different positions in the court and give Rafa different looks. And that's been helping a lot. I mean, he doesn't really have the weapons that generally can test out Rafa. So part of it is Rafa, but his level is raised up, CACHIN. Backhand, forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, again cross court, back into CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, down the line. That goes out, so it's a break back for CACHIN. Break back for CACHIN. We're at 2-2. Vamos, Rafa, okay. Okay, Conchi. Rafa's the reason why I like Novak, so it's only fitting for me to see them play one last match. Rafa, no more gifting points, please. Yeah, too many gifts, and yeah, that's fair. It's cool that I like Novak and Roger a lot. Those are two of my favorites, and I feel like I'm very alone in that. There aren't that many people who have them as two of the favorites, if I was to be honest about like some of my favorite players. And Rafa's right up there as well, but I kind of feel that. I love Roger Novak matches, and I got a lot of respect from Novak partly through their matches. 2011 US Open in particular still hurts a lot. To be honest, everybody's talking about Wimbledon, but what a crazy match. Yeah, this is nuts. 2 hours and 41 minutes. Definitely a crazy match. Yeah, Faison. What's up, Faison in the chat? Yeah, the second set, hour and 27 minutes. Whatever way you think this match is going to go, it's just going to go the other way. This is not what I expected from this match, but been great. Serve, forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN. Cross court, forehand to Rafa, down the line, forehand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, again down the line. Oh, Rafa slips up. Forehand volley, CACHIN is there though. Lob, smash, put away. 15-all. Rafa back in business here. Trying to get a break. But it still just feels like it's a long shot for CACHIN to beat Rafa somehow. It just feels like Rafa is a little bit slower than he was against Minaur. Feels like he's not quite there like he was against Demon. But it just feels still like a bit of a long shot. So we'll see. It is still a big task for CACHIN to, even though he's 4 games away here, it still feels like a big task. So we'll see what CACHIN does to cross that line and cross that threshold. It's a backhand Rafa, forehand drop shot, CACHIN. Backhand Rafa gets there, back lob over Rafa. Oh, it stays in, I think. Or does it miss? Okay, the crowd cheered, so it missed. The crowd cheered. It was a bad shot, so the crowd cheered. It missed. Lob. It was close. The crowd is going to be cheering for Rafa, though. You got to expect it. Not sure 3 sets is good for Rafa, but then again, he needs the match play. Yeah, he does, but I just feel like he would have rather had it done in 2 sets, to be honest. But yeah, that's fair. He's on. $30-all. Rafa, it's okay. Come on, time to break back again. Yep. Serve from CACHIN. Big moment in this match. That first serve percentage from CACHIN is really falling down again. Forehand squash shot. Forehand to CACHIN. Down the line. Backhand. Rafa into forehand to CACHIN. Backhand down the line. Back into CACHIN. Forehand. Forehand to CACHIN. Cross court. Backhand to Rafa. Forehand to CACHIN. Backhand down the line. Backhand to CACHIN. Forehand cross court. Backhand to CACHIN again. Forehand to Rafa. Back into CACHIN. Forehand Rafa again. What a rally here. Backhand cross court. Oh, this is crucial for the momentum of this match. Oh, and that goes out from CACHIN. Nadal grabs the momentum. That was a That was a momentum-defining point there. And it is a break point for Rafa. It's a challenge from CACHIN. It was actually close, I think, here. It could be 30-40. It was out. It was out. Not that close. Not that close. It was out. 30-40. Big moments here. $30-40. Serve down the tee, back into Rafa. The forehand of CACHIN, back into Rafa again. High up, it's a drop shot. It's not a good one. Rafa's there in no time. Oh, and that's too much pace. CACHIN's racket is there, but it's too much pace. Too much pace on that shot, like a bullet right through the racket of CACHIN. And that was a poor drop shot, nervy. And those couple of points define the outcome of this match potentially, as it's Rafa that leads 3-2. And like I said, it feels a little inevitable. Because does CACHIN really have what it takes to go all the way? But we'll see. It's been a crazy match though. Expect the unexpected. Rafa's wife was very pregnant when they played the labored doubles. I think Rafa rushed back to Mallorca right after the match. Yeah, it was, I mean, right after that match, Rafa's level really dropped. It was an interesting moment. I guess it did kind of at the US Open as well. Wasn't really there, but kind of after Wimbledon. But yeah, I mean, Rafa definitely wasn't at his best level in that match either. Maybe it was focused on other things, but that is a crazy story. Have you seen them at Laureus Rewards? Mary did all talking. Rafa was just there allowing her to take the glory. That's pretty cool. Rafa, it's okay to come back. Break back again. He got it. How long have they been playing? Nearly 3 hours. 2 hours 45, I think. Whoa, Rafa popped up. Casper 1-2. Yahoo. Let's go, Rude. Let's go, Rude. Good for Casper. Absolutely. Vamos. Rafa listens to me. Always good job. Good for Casper. Yep. Casper is going to be listen, even before the Barcelona final, he was like, this is good practice for Madrid. He's all in. He's all in for Madrid. I think he's going to be I think he's a big factor. He is a big factor in this tournament. He's going to take on FAA next. FAA getting some wins under his belt. I mean, he's played Nishioka. Manarino doesn't like playing on clay, and now he's had Menzik, who's injured. So the road's been subpar, but still, FA in the 4th round is a good run for him. But Casper is going to be a massive favorite there. On clay courts, I mean, even on hard courts, I remember one of the best matches I've seen Casper play in Canada. I believe it was Montreal 2022. Where Casper just dismantled FAA there, like 6-1, 6-2 on hard court. Backhand goes long from CACHIN. 15 love. Once again, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the Quality Shot Tennis YouTube channel if you are new to it. Coco lost Watt. That was so unexpected for me. I felt confident that it was going to be Coco on the clay courts, but Madsen Keys with some good wins. She nearly reached a slam final last year to end off the season at the US Open. She can play some great tennis still. It's a good win for her. Great win for her. Forehand. Now back in volley from Rafa is so good. It's a big fist bump too. Never lacks the passion. Baby Rafa swinging racket. I'm next to be afraid. Very afraid. That's what I'm saying. The Prince of Clay. The Prince of Clay. Rafa's son, Rafael Nadal Jr. It's going to be Rafa versus Rafa in the 2050 French Open final. It's too far away. 2045 French Open final. Whatever it is. Served forehand of CACHIN. That goes out though. CACHIN is well out of sorts at the moment. I'm still a bit in shock that we're getting to see Rafa on court again. I'm so happy. Yeah, exactly. We're getting to see Rafa. Yeah. Amazing. Rafa even. Baby Fafa. Baby Fafa. The next great clay quarter. Baby Fafa. Yes, getting to see Rafa again is a great joy, honestly. Backhand of CACHIN. That goes out. So a bunch of errors, and it's 4-2. 4-2, and it's going to be Lehechka next to get to the quarterfinals. When's even the last time that Nadal had a run like that? Nadal was struggling at the end of 2022, you know? He had a long losing streak. Like, when is the last time Nadal's even had a quarterfinal or semifinal run? Was it Wimbledon? I think it was Wimbledon. Last time Rafa reached the quarterfinals of a tournament, I believe it was Wimbledon. When he beat Fritz in that epic match. Be so good to see Rafa with another run after such a long time. Rafa brought his Real Madrid fans. Yeah, it's awesome. The crowd is amazing. Forehand to Rafa down the line. That forehand is killer at the moment. That forehand showed up, and that's been enough. Love 15. Do you guys think Rafa has the best forehand of all time? I still like to opt in Roger. I'm not going to lie. Roger's forehand. I mean, Rafa's backhand is phenomenal too. Like, and Roger's backhand is phenomenal as well. The big three, all of their backhands, forehands, absolutely incredible shots. But I would probably, I would arguably take Rafa's backhand over Roger's backhand. Forehand of Roger, I felt like could do anything. At its best, it was unbelievable. At its best, Roger's forehand was unbelievable. To me, Roger still probably ranks number one, but Rafa and Roger have to be top two. Rafa and Roger are top two for me. There's so many other great ones, like Ivan Lendl is a great forehand. And also like Del Potro, Fernando Gonzalez is somewhere. And Jim Courier. I mean, there's a lot of great forehands, but Rafa and Roger are 1 and 2. I'd probably go Roger 1, Rafa 2. Let me know what you guys think the order is, though. Who has the best fear hand? Because Rafa and Roger are definitely at the top. But Roger, I just think, not just like late in his career, but even thinking in his prime, like 2004, 2009, the things he could do with this forehand, I've never seen it done before. Forehand of CACHIN. That goes out. So 30 all. Too many errors now from CACHIN. Anthony and Katie are featured on Tennis TV. Nice Park. That's a great relationship. I don't mind these jokes. If I get to, you know, these are good jokes. I don't mind these jokes. But I don't know how, Lexa, you started this Minaur thing. You started it. I know that. Ball's called out. The mark is shown very close, but I think it's out. The mark looks out to me. The umpire looks quite confident as well. Oh, it's in, actually. Oh, wow. It is in. It's in by like 2 millimeters. Maybe even less than that. 40-30 for CACHIN, who's awarded the point. 40-30 for CACHIN, who's awarded the point. He's at least staying close here. I really, in this match, I'm just not sure for sure what's going to happen. Seems like Rafa's going to win like 6-4, but you just never know, really. And CACHIN's played a solid match. Rafa's not been at the level he was against Minaur, that's for sure. That's for sure. Backhand down the middle, forehand to Rafa. Backhand slice to CACHIN. Backhand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand again, CACHIN. Down the line, backhand to Rafa. Again, cross court. Forehand to CACHIN. Backhand to Rafa. Down the line now, slice. Cross court now, slice from CACHIN. Backhand down the line. What a rally. Backhand. Rafa's still alive. Backhand cross court. That's in the net. CACHIN survives. Very good play from CACHIN. He's got to earn some respect with this performance. Pedro's got to earn some respect with this performance. Is that 4-3? Should have gone to bed an hour ago, but then there's Rafa, yeah. Yeah, right. You got to watch Rafa, see how he can close it out. It's tough to turn off. It's going to be a 3-hour plus match, though. There's no doubt about that now. Rafa's not foreign to those. Tennis TV never fails to impress me with their features. Who would have thought of that kind of content? Yeah, true. There's Minaur is in a lot of the. What was really funny was Minaur as like the what do you call it? The guy working the parking at the what tournament was it? Miami, I think. That was a hilarious video with them working as staff at a tennis tournament. Medvedev, Minaur, I think Runa as well at the gift shop. Come on, Rafa. You need to have a word with Rafa during this break, Lexi. 15 love here. 15 love, 15 love. By the way, we will be doing the Sabalenka versus Sabalenka match later. She takes on Danielle Collins. Sabalenka versus Collins later. Forehand of CACHIN to the back end of Rafa. Right over the net. Now a little bit higher over the net. A bit more loopier. That goes out off that backhand. So 15-all. CACHIN hitting a lot to the backhand of Rafa. And it's done good. It's done doing good, especially in this third set where Rafa's picked up the forehand performance. He's got to keep hitting it to the that backhand if he's able to. Rafa will win this point. Will win all points. I told him you need to go to bed, and he said, jaw. That is the funniest thing to me. The jaw, just like out of context, just saying jaw is so funny. Jaw. I mean, what a wild thing to have happened just in tennis. But we need more of those kind of moments, you know? Like, just those kind of spice of drama involved in tennis that gets people talking, you know? We need that. Rafa's kid looks like Rafa's dad. That's interesting. I need to look at Rafa's dad again. Backhand up high, Rafa. Forehand. Down the line, the backhand of CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Backhand to Rafa. Again to the backhand of CACHIN. Forehand Rafa. Inside out to forehand to CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Cross court. Forehand CACHIN to forehand Rafa. Again down the line. Backhand CACHIN. So many long rallies here. Backhand slice. That's in the net. So 30-15. Nadal coming on top in a lot of these longer rallies. I don't have any social medias. That's how I've been, Zara. And yeah, Zara, good for you. Yeah, exactly. That's how I've been. I've been almost wanting to change that, though, because I feel a little bit more out of loop than I want to, but it's just kind of about seeing what works for you best. Nadal is 6 points away, potentially. Backhand, that's a Vamos from Rafa. 40-15. Center place today. Yeah, he's playing Kotov. Should be a match you'll feel like he should win. Yannick. Son applauding too. So cute. Yeah, absolutely. Too late of a match. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we're on very different time zones, Lexi. For me, it's still 1 p.m. Backhand forehand of Rafa. Backhand to CACHIN. Backhand to Rafa. Forehand. Backhand to CACHIN down the line. Backhand slice to Rafa. Sorry, backhand slice CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa. 5-3. I've been saying so much, so many play-by-play different things like forehand and backhand. Starting to mix things up. 5-3. That was a good backhand slice from Kachin, but Rafa gets the point anyway. So he's a game away from getting the win after an absolute roller coaster. I think we've hit 3 hours now. Yeah, 3 hours and 1 minute. Twitter has all the stories, indeed. It has all the stories I need. Yeah, it's all. Some of it is very toxic though, but it does come with a lot of good news. It keeps you in the loop with some good drama, I guess, which is good. Backhand Rafa, the backhand of Kachin, forehand Rafa, the backhand of Kachin, forehand Rafa again, backhand of Kachin, forehand Rafa again, to the backhand of Kachin, forehand Rafa again. Oh! Rafa with that big forehand strike cross. So he's 3 points away. Okay, now officially we've hit 3 hours. So the website I'm using is showing 3 hours, but now we've hit 3 hours officially on the clock. Right as the forehand hit the clock and it hit 3 hours. Pretty much right as the ball hit it. 3 hours on the clock. Long match here. I don't think this is what most people expected out of this match. Nadal will probably have to raise his level a little bit as the matches keep going. We'll see how his endurance, his stamina keeps going. He's getting some match play under his belt, though, which is good also for the mental side of things. I mean, that forehand is unbelievable. That forehand is just unbelievable. Right into the corner off the return of serve. He is digging deep here to finish this off right here. He doesn't want to get it to his serve where he needs to serve it out. I mean, that is just a ridiculous forehand. I mean, what can you do when you play a forehand like that? That is why Rafa is just mythical on a clay court. That forehand is exactly why Rafa is mythical on a clay court. Maybe enjoying the match. Yep. Sort of feel like Twitter is the epitome of someone on the internet as being stupid. That's true, too. A lot of toxicity, yeah. And a lot of weird, just stupid things. Let's go, Rafa. Let's go. It's 2 points away. Rafa's got to finish it up. Like I was saying, if we want epics against Medvedev and against Sinner, you know, later in the tournament, potentially, we don't want this to go longer. We don't want this to go another half hour. We want Rafa to get this done. Let's see what Rafa can do. He's close for another win on the clay. Forehand big from Rafa down the line, but goes wide. Since I like sports and arts and entertaining gaming, these are stuff I check whenever I can. The others, I'm not interested. Yeah, it's all about optimizing your online experience. Yeah, that's a lot of the things that I'm interested in as well. So probably very good for following sports. Yeah, it seems that way. Points played on serve, by the way, 120 for Kachin, 76 for Rafa. It's a lot altogether. We've played a lot of points in this match, despite the 6-1 first set. Forehand to the backhand of Rafa. Forehand, drop shot. Rafa's there. Backhand for a pass from Kachin. Forehand volley is very good. Oh, some good cat and mouse, and that goes out. That gives a match point to Rafa. That's it, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you are new. I will be here for more streams. And join in. Faison will be doing the Sabalenka versus Collins match later on in the day as well. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new to Quality Shot Tennis. And please don't forget to like the stream as well if you're enjoying it. Match point for Rafa. Rafa never fails to listen. I told him to win all the points for Uzera, but I won't jinx it. He's got 1 point, Lexi. 1 point divides him from ecstasy. 1 point dividing ecstasy and misery. If he could finish it off right here. Get away from this roller coaster of a match. Catching with the serve. First serve is a let. Catching is a let. Catching's first serve is a let. The tension, Lexi. Serve. First serve goes out. See what Rafa can do. He's at match point. Serve from Kachin. Forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN. Forehand to Rafa, back into CACHIN again. The forehand to Rafa, the back into CACHIN. Into the forehand to Rafa, down the line, long rally here, forehand to CACHIN. CACHIN just rallying, back in now, cross court. Forehand to Rafa, back in CACHIN, a little bit bigger down the line. Goes for a big forehand, that goes long cross court. Rafa with his arms in the air. And a big fist bump. Rafa gets the win, let's go. Rafa in the final 16 in Madrid, and he's got Yuri Lehechka. Good words from CACHIN to Rafa. I think some good words between the two. I'm not sure exactly what they said. I won't forget CACHIN now. Let's go. Let's go, Rafa. Rafa with the win. Vamos. Bien jugado, Rafa. Good game. I know that one. Good game, Rafa. Great commentary. Anthony, I appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe if you are new. And join in for more Quality Shot Tennis, for more live streams just like this one all throughout the year. This was this was a crazy match. 3 hours and 6 minutes. Are you kidding me? Vamos. 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 Vamos, 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 vamos. Shram, do you remember Medvedev at the U.S. Open when he was making fun of fans cheering for his opponent? I forgot who he played. Saying, the guy sleeps at night saying, vamos, 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 vamos. Vamos, 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 vamos. See you guys later. Appreciate you joining in as well, Shrambini. Hey, what's up, Ghost? Hi, bye. Ghost, you came in late. But you showed up. You showed up, Ghost, so that counts for something. You showed up, you're here. But I'm about to head out, so I might be doing the start of the Sabalenka Collins match. It's still unclear. But we will be doing that one later. Faison will have the call for that one. Faison will have the call for the Sabalenka Collins match. Thanks, Anthony. Always at your top level. Hey, I appreciate that, Lexi. Thank you. There's a lot more coming. Hopefully. Rafa extinguished the CACHIN. The CACHIN. That's so funny. The puns with him are hilarious. All right. So it's 3 hours and 6 minutes. 6-1, 6-7, 6-3. The second set was bananas. 3 hours and 6 minutes. Here are the match stats at the end of the day. 0 aces, 0 doubles for Rafa. Pretty good on the serve. Not bad. Not incredible either. Only saved 2 out of 6 break points. Did not help. This is a ridiculous stat. How many points did CACHIN play on serve altogether? So this is, whatever this is, 75 plus 48. It's what, 123 or something? 123, I think. So 123 points played on serve. That is a lot. Yeah, I mean, altogether, it was a high-level match. CACHIN played well. Rafa got the win anyway. So a good win for him. Appreciate everybody joining in like always. Rafa back in the round 16s. The Cube will like his draw too. I think Montero would have been more dangerous than Lehechka, than Yuri Lehechka, the Czech. So Lehechka is still tough though, and he grew up playing on clay. So thank you, Cedric. Can't wait for Saba and Danielle. Yeah, I'll try to join in for some of that too. We will be recording another Tennis 360 podcast today. So that will be happening later. But so I'm not sure I'll be happening around the same time, but I'll try to catch as much as I can. Rafa, iconic Rafa is back. So good to have him back, honestly. And he'll be playing Lehechka next. Very exciting times for tennis as he's winning more matches. And, he wasn't at his best, especially towards the start of the second set. He did well to fight in the second set. CACHIN played very well. But third set, first set, he was still playing top level. And I think it's exciting. And maybe not quite the level he was at against Minaur, but he will still take it, and it's a good win. I think it's good for him. Get that match play, get through those tight moments, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he progresses in the tournament, and I will see you guys there as it all happens. Rafa's through to the round 16 in Madrid, his first really great run in a long time. Very exciting times for the Spaniard legend.